Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to From the Couch Sports Podcast. We got Peter, we got Aiden, and we are back from our fabulous trip to the Smokies. Excited to bring some content for you guys this week, and we got a lot to talk about. But
Yeah.
boys, how are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Doing well. We got a lot, like you said, to cover, so I'm excited to just get right into it.
Yeah, I'm doing good. We got some really good basketball coming up with the NBA, and then we got some golfing stuff we got to talk about, boys.
Yes, we
Oh
do.
yeah, some huge news. But first, Michigan, they are the national champions. They made it to the Final Four, won it all. Peter, obviously you were there for the Final Four with Illinois. Tell us a little bit about your experience and just your overall thoughts for the Final Four.
Yeah. I enjoyed the Final Four. It's definitely worth going if like you're a spectator. Um, Obviously Illinois lost. And I'm really bummed out about that because really, like I saw like some people like, oh, like Illinois was a fraudulent team and they shouldn't have made the Final Four. I'm like, I disagree with that heavily because number one, like Illinois just couldn't buy a bucket to save their life. Like the epitome of that game, and everyone's seen the highlight was like I think it was second half. Kylan Boswell just had a free drive to the rim off a pick and roll and went to the hoop, did a front and go roll layup. It rolls in out and stays on the back iron and then rolls off. Like I don't understand. Like 9 times out of 10, that ball's going in. But Illinois just had that one night where it's just like the ball wasn't going in. It was just rimming in and out. And then like I just felt like that Mullins kid from UConn was making everything on site. And congrats to UConn. They were phenomenal. And then I saw Michigan just absolutely pulverize Arizona that first half. I think they were up like 22 by the end of the first half, and I was like, "Yep, they're gonna win the whole thing next on Monday." But
They wiped the floor. It was insane.
yeah. Personally for me, being in my first NFL stadium, NFL stadiums are not made for basketball games. It is definitely not made for spectating and watching basketball games. I'm of the mindset, the personal belief that if you're going to be hosting a Final Four, put it in an NBA venue. Because it's a much better watching experience. Aiden, I know that in the past, we caught up at the Big Ten tournament when it was in the United Center, and that's a way better
That
viewing
23, right?
experience than, yeah, I think it was like 23, I believe. And that was a way better viewing experience than
Yeah.
like watching an NFL stadium because like that NFL stadium was like it's great if like you're watching football because it's so big, wide, all that stuff. But the problem is like when you're watching a basketball game, it's like you're basically missing almost like part of the action and like also like that chain smokers performance like it probably looked great on TV, but like when you're like sitting in the stadium, you were just sitting there like I can't see anything, and the stage from where I was sitting was like on the complete far end where Michigan's student section was at, and I'm just like I can't see the performance. So I mean, it's still a great experience, but it could be a lot better.
That's why you bring your binoculars. That's what they say. Take the binoculars and be ready to watch the game through your binoculars the whole time. So
I
Right.
know. Just
that's
imagine you saw a foul from so far away. It's like that was obviously a foul. Where's the penalty right there?
Yeah, I mean, penalty. It's a
interesting.
foul. The the biggest problem I had was like uh during the Illinois game was the fact that there was like that one foul that wasn't called on Keaton Walker, where it's like the UConn player just like straight up like almost like shoved him and like grabbed the ball from him and like ripped it off and like gave it to UConn on a fast break. Where I'm like, again, like I don't think the refs decided that game. Like Illinois came back and fought, which I appreciate that the fact that the boys didn't like go out and like go out sad. Like they fought back and they got within four, but like it was already too late at that point in the game. So it's what it is. But like, hey, congrats to Michigan. They were a juggernaut and they might be probably one of the best teams to play this century for the Final Four.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Tough, obviously tough loss for Illinois. kind of exactly what I expected, and not the sense that they would lose, but Terrace Reed Jr. would have a good game. He had a double double that game. Kind of what I expected, just for him to be not necessarily maybe a game wrecker, but really someone you'd have to find a way to slow down. And you have slowed him down a little bit, but it's just hard when a guy like that's going for a double double. Obviously, Michigan, we already mentioned, blew out Arizona. No point in going over that. But then that national championship game, honestly, I feel like and I don't know if you guys would agree with this. I feel like the score is really closer than it probably should have been, because it kind of felt like Michigan kind of let off the gas there a little bit in the last minute or two when I mean it was a 4-point game at one point in that last like minute, I'm pretty sure. Like that should not have been that close, because Michigan was all gas essentially that whole game. And then they kinda just took their foot off the gas, it felt like, and let it get a little closer than it should have been. Obviously, still won by 6, so comfortable win at the end of the day. But I said it.
Aiden, is it fair to say that Michigan played their worst game of the season in the national championship game?
I would say the worst game of the playoff run. I don't know about out of the season, because they had I mean, obviously they won. I think they only lost, what,
They were
2,
0
3
of
games this
18
year?
from they were 0 of 18 from 3 at one point. Like they were shooting
Yes, but
terrible.
I wouldn't say that necessarily I wouldn't say that constitutes maybe a poor game, because they at the end of the day, they played great defense, so they made up for that with defensively. But you look at like their loss against Wisconsin earlier in the year, like that was a poor game. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I would say yes, offensively, definitely their poorest game of probably the season, if not the tournament, or of the tournament, if not the season. Um, but I mean, I called it at the very start. You guys can go back to episode 2 or 3, whatever the first one was that we covered, the college basketball playoff and the 60-18 field. I mean, I said it from the start. Michigan was going to win this tournament, and as again, much as it hurts to say, I was a firm believer, and I was right. I mean, that it's one of the best rosters. I mean, that 7-2 Alex Mara, whatever his name is, absolute stud. I mean, and the scary thing is they're probably really just gonna keep getting better, because I don't think Lindenborg's a senior. I think he's a junior or something like that. So I think he's returning. I think Mara. I
Mara
don't
is
know.
a sophomore. I think
Yeah.
Lindenberg is a graduate student, so I think he's
Okay.
done.
Is he? So then he's done. But you
And
still
Morez
get.
Johnson Jr. is a sophomore, and I think Cadeau. I think they just announced that he's returning next
Yeah, he's
year
returning
as
because
well.
he like made a deal or whatever they said. But yeah, I mean, you're just returning essentially the same team, maybe minus one player, and it's just like that's ridiculous. How do you like? They might be going back to back, which is a
Yeah, and I
scary
think
thing.
I think they also got the starting center from Tennessee. And because I think that they're like kind of insinuating, knowing the fact that that Mara guy might be going into the NBA draft, but that roster, like if they keep like Johnson, they keep Cadeau. I think I think who's that kid like that LJ Kaysen
Yeah,
kid that got injured. If he comes back and then like you're bringing like that 7-2 guy from Tennessee, like that roster is going to be disgusting next season.
yeah. So a lot to be excited about for Michigan fans when it comes to college basketball. So
Absolutely. Yeah, they put on a phenomenal performance. And I also want to just point this out. In my bracket, I actually, with my group that I play with, I had the best bracket. And I actually took Michigan and Arizona to be in the final four in the national championship game. I'm sorry. Well, yeah,
UConn.
yeah. No, I'm sorry. I took
UConn.
UConn. Yeah, I had UConn and Michigan in the national championship game. And my point prediction was only off by 8 points. That's probably the best bracket that I've ever came up with in the history of me doing this the tournament bracket. So really, really cool, very exciting.
I
On
can't
top of
confirm I was in there.
Michigan, on top of Michigan winning their national championship, on the women's division side, UCLA won a national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much to say on that other than the Big Ten is the.
UCLA whooped
Oh, yeah,
South Carolina.
Was that like 20
Oh,
points? Like a
it,
20-point victory,
it was
right?
like a no, it was like a 38. It was like a 30-point blowout. Or I think it was like 20 or a 30-point blowout. Mind you, I just want to keep this in perspective for our viewers that might not be familiar with women's basketball. Like
And it was
basically, like
28.
South Carolina is like basically like this like current day version of like the Kansas City
It's
Chiefs. Like
trash.
they are dominant. They keep on like bringing in new great players, and UCLA ran them out of the gym. Like straight up beat them. And mind you, like UConn got their absolute comeuppance given to them by South Carolina in the Final Four, and for UCLA to like basically go like, "What you did to UConn, we're going to do to you in the championship game." Like it was insane.
That's ridiculous. Holy smokes.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
looking
and
at
it
the
looks like most of those games, like they were fairly well. That South Carolina UConn game, that was pretty bad. UCLA and Texas, that one's actually closer. But then, yeah, you get to that game, and it just made it look like UCLA was just the dominant force the whole tournament long. Like you probably wouldn't guess if you hadn't watched women's sports that UCLA was going to be performing like that, especially going up against the number one team in South Carolina as well.
Yeah, I think I saw a post that said that Michigan and UCLA and Indiana all winning their championships for like football, men's basketball, and women's basketball is the first time ever that a conference has won a championship in all three of those sports in the same calendar year.
Yeah, actually, I also want to hit on that same note. The Big Ten has been just rolling in general. They won field hockey, men's water polo, men's soccer, football, men's wrestling, women's hockey, women's basketball, and men's basketball. Not to mention Wisconsin was also in the men's hockey final. Michigan was in the men's hockey Frozen Four and lost. I mean, the Big Ten is doing doing some things like,
Not
and I
not
think
to
five
mention, I mean,
teams.
a lot of them are just like in the playoffs,
Yeah, I
a
think
lot
5
more than some of
teams
the other big schools.
qualified for the gymnastics play, like, they're putting together some squads, the Big Ten is. Kind of insane.
Right. And it goes back to like, a lot of these Big Ten schools, like obviously like, like some schools are gonna be like, oh, like it doesn't really matter if like we're good at like gymnastics or volleyball or, these other Olympic sports that they're great at. If they're not good at football, if they're not good at men's basketball. And I'm like, well, again, as an Illinois fan, like they're well rounded. Like a lot of these programs that they have are really decent. Like even though Wisconsin might not be great at football right now, like their basketball program's in pretty good hands. I see like Aiden pointed out, like their hockey program was in the championship game. I think that their volleyball program is also pretty respectable right now. Like again, like you can hang your hat on like building a program from certain different perspectives, but the Big Ten right now in general is like that's why they went out and got UCLA, Oregon, USC, Washington, like because they want to get not only the West Coast market to get that huge deal that they got with CBS, NBC, and Fox, but they also are just like, well, we want to like boost our like Olympic sports resume because those schools are great at like certain Olympic sports that the Big Ten in the past has not been good at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, props to some of those sports that are not necessarily the mainstream sports like football, basketball, and baseball are. But what this clearly tells me more than anything is like these schools, they have the talent, they have the performance to be able to go out there and shine in whatever sport that may be. And it just so happens that every single one of them were all stemming from a Big Ten school. And I mean, I know this probably kicks into the whole story of NIL, and I'm sure that the NIL has changed significantly so much about the world of sports. And I don't know. I mean, to me, this makes it seem like Big Ten has really been the one that's benefited from this more than any other conference out there.
Well, it's because the SEC's been paying their players, it's just they haven't been doing it. They've been doing it a little bit, the McDonald's bag, was that, I think Florida or Tennessee, whatever, with the
Tennessee,
McDonald's bag,
Tennessee was the
yeah,
one that did it.
and, like, all that, but also on again, going back to the whole Big Ten thing, shout out to UCLA, who's number 1 in baseball, and like on a 27-game win streak, the NCAA record is 34. Like they're like on the way to breaking that. Like, yeah, when you can actually start paying your players legally and you follow the rules like the Big Ten did, and that
In
maybe
air
most of the
quotes.
time. Yeah.
In air
Sure.
quotes.
Yeah. It is interesting to see how all of a sudden the sudden shift has how much of an impact that has played.
Yeah, but I think it also helps the fact that you're in a conference that literally touches all three of the biggest markets in the United States. You have, Chicago, because obviously you have Illinois and Northwestern, as well as like, if you want to throw in like Mass and Wisconsin, then, you have Ann Arbor and East Lansing that are close to Detroit. Then you have Rutgers, which is like literally a hop and a skip away from New York City. And then you have USC and UCLA, who are both in Los Angeles, which is like the biggest market outside New York. So, like, yeah, it does help the fact that I was like, hey, like, I want to be a part of a conference that, hey, like, I would love to go to a conference that has like the three biggest markets and I can get more notoriety and more money than if I went to, let's say, you go to Georgia and like, yeah, you have the Atlanta market, but like outside of football, it's like they don't really care and invest as much as, like a UCLA in their women's basketball program, where they don't care as much as, you know, uh, like South Carolina and their women's basketball program. It's like things like that. Like certain like the SEC is just not like progressing enough in this day and age because they don't have that revenue money.
Shout out to the SEC though in baseball, because they do absolutely cook in baseball. So
True.
gotta give 'em.
A market that's really benefiting right now is North Carolina in their basketball program, as they just made a huge hire. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, North Carolina hired Mike Malone as the newest head coach. For those of you that do not know, Mike Malone is a former NBA head coach. Recently won the NBA championship with the Denver Nuggets with Nikola Jokic. But he got fired after there was a dispute between him and the GM back in Denver. I think he got fired in 2024.
Around
Is
there,
that
yeah,
correct, guys?
around that time. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so
was like I believe it was mid-season as well, which
It
again
was
yeah, it
to
was a
me,
mid-season firing.
24-25 season.
now I mean, you talk
Yeah.
about, I guess there was like a little bit of a GM coach dispute going on there, because to me, just hearing that initial firing to seems a little surprising, especially like they weren't like awful in that year. So it just comes as a shock to me as to why would they even fire Michael Malone to begin with?
Yeah, I think it goes back to like again, like the head coach and the GM, like if you're not seeing eye to eye, like it's gonna like bring up a lot of tension. Like the coach would like certain players and the GM would be like, hey, we gotta go in this direction moving forward, but that's gonna go against the coach's values. That's where they started butting heads, and the Nuggets decided we value the GM more than the coach, and that's why they fired Mike Malone. I think it's interesting for North Carolina because, guys, this is the first hiring that North Carolina has done for someone that has no connections to the university, I believe, since like 1961.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
that's
That's
like,
wild, yeah.
that's
this is a
crazy.
Hey,
huge change of pace.
shout out to the Ohio State University, 1961. I'm pretty sure national champions in college basketball. It might have been 1960. I don't remember. It's one of those 2 years. Anyways, besides the point. Um,
Yeah, but
but
it's interesting that they went with this route with Mike Malone. I don't really know the full details about like how much control he has over the basketball program, but it is going to be interesting because again, like North Carolina is seen as that like prestigious like S tier job in college basketball. But I don't know because like I mean we've seen like former NBA players, former NBA coaches that have gone to the college ranks and they do not perform well because the problem is like when you're coaching the NBA, like you're coaching some of the most quite literally the best players in the world at that level, and you're going down to college where it's like some of these young men are going to be developmental projects. Like they're not going to be standout stars in, sadly, in a situation where you're in North Carolina, you need to be successful almost immediately, especially with the fact that you have Duke literally right down
Yeah.
the road from where North Carolina's at. That they just had the Boozer twins down there, and both of them are going to probably be in the NBA this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah,
go ahead, Levi.
I was just gonna say, I mean, he has some pretty big shoes to fill. I mean, this is like you said, this is very interesting for North Carolina as they've long time hired in through a big coaching family, and now they're bringing in someone completely new. Who, granted, yeah, he's won a NBA championship with the Nuggets and stuff, but now he's got some massive shoes to fill, and it's like you talk about, sometimes it's hard for these coaches to translate from professional sports to college sports. So he's going to have a lot of shoes to fill given you're working with college students now. It's a whole different ball game than what he's normally used to. So it'll just be interesting to see if he can really translate to that.
It's entirely different going from, again, like coaching an NBA team, but it's like having to deal with players that, again, like mind you have to recruit and now negotiate with the recruit, because it's
Mhm.
no
Yeah.
longer like, hey, here's a scholarship. Would you like to come play for the University of North Carolina? It's like, hey, here's a scholarship. Now let's talk about negotiating an NIL deal. And I
Yeah.
don't know if like Mike Malone has that much experience as like an executive level, like having to negotiate deals to get certain transfers, get certain freshmen. Like already, like I think it's like 3 or 4 North Carolina players have already announced that they're going into the transfer portal as we're recording this on April 13th. So
Wow.
there's a lot of things that really, again, like Mike Malone has to, figure out. And I don't know if you guys saw it, but it's like apparently like North Carolina is like, oh, like Mike Malone has all the experience, and they have like all like the NBA players
I did
surrounding
see
him,
that.
and like
He was
at the head of
there.
it was like LeBron James. I'm just like,
Yeah.
guys, I don't think that he ever coached him. I could be wrong,
Uh,
but it's like, I don't think he ever coached him in
so
his career.
he was with Cleveland as an assistant coach from 2005 to 2010. And I think they're trying to like throw out some credit because he was there when LeBron was there as an assistant coach. I mean, so theoretically he was helping develop him, but like I don't really know. Like I don't know if I'd really consider that.
I
Like
don't know about that one, Chief.
it,
More like an indirect coaching.
I would give him like a half a point on it, maybe like a point 0.5 out of a full point, or like a 5 out of 10 if you're gonna really give him something. But he
Like
can
North
have it.
Carolina's
Sure.
like trying to give credit for Mike Malone, be like, oh, like he was the one that coached LeBron James. I'm just like, guys, like Mike Malone's like the kid like doing the group project that probably did like 5% of the work that was required in the project, and he got like full credit because everyone else did the work for him.
Yeah.
Like, what
Honestly,
are we
Now,
true.
doing?
I will say though, on this hire, quickly just shout out to some of his achievements. 510, 394 is his record in the NBA. So that's a really solid record as a head coach, I should add. That's not I mean, that's over 50% winning, like that's for the most part a winning season, like most years. Obviously, like Peter mentioned, led the 2023 Denver Nuggets to a championship behind Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, those guys. But I actually think that's why this will work for him, right? Because if you go back to like when he was hired in at Denver was 2015, 2016 season, right? Nikola Jokic wasn't really on the scene like that at that point. I'm sure we all know, well, at least Peter for sure, the whole thing about the Subway ad or whatever that played when Jokic was literally
Taco
drafted.
Bell.
Or
It
yeah,
was
Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
Yeah. That
Taco
whole that whole thing, right? So and again, now he's the head coach at this point. So he did develop Jokic. He brought in Jamal Murray and helped
Mhm.
develop Jamal Murray up into being an all-star caliber point guard. Like not saying that he wasn't before or anything like that, or he was never good. Like, but I was never looking at Jamal Murray like this guy is the guy. And then, especially that NBA championship year, like even the year before, like Jamal Murray played really well. Aaron Gordon, who was never really a guy who was like the guy, you know what I'm saying? Like he was a really solid role player with the Denver Nuggets, you know?
Great
And
dunker.
yeah, yeah, shout out 2016, 2017, 2016.
2016 dunk contest. It was a
Yeah,
2016
him and
dunk
Zach
contest.
LaVine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like so he did develop some of these guys into being really solid players. And so I think that helped that pedigree on why UNC looked at Mike Malone and said, "Hey, this I think this is our guy," you know, cuz again, Jokic was literally a nobody coming into when he was drafted. And now he's looked at as quite literally one of the greatest centers of all time thanks to his, his playmaking, his vision. Heck, even his three-point shot is not that bad. Like, he doesn't shoot it much anymore like how he did earlier in his career. Like, I remember really kinda early when he was coming on, he used to shoot the 3 more, then he kinda got rid of that, and now he's kinda shooting it a little bit more again. But I think it's a really good hire, you know? I think now, like you mentioned, that is the cream of the crop, right? That is the top 1% of basketball players. So, it will be interesting to see how he takes these high school kids or, these graduate transfers, these senior, transfers, all that, and how he can develop those kids. But he has shown signs of success in development. So, very interested to see how that could work out for UNC, over there.
Yeah, I don't doubt his developmental skills. I just think the problem is like when you are going to have to go into an environment, because mind you, like when you go into an NBA team, like when he took over for the Nuggets back in 2015, like they were a dumpster fire. Like they were bad. Like, do you know who they took in the first round that 2015 draft? Aiden, that the same draft that they got Jokic.
I don't remember, honestly.
If I remember correctly, I think it was Emmanuel Mudiay from SMU. If you remember
Ooh.
him at all.
I do remember him, yes.
And he, again, mind you, Moutier was supposed to be that guy, and he wasn't that guy. He was not even a good role player. Like I think he like spent like probably 6, maybe 5 years in the NBA, and he was out. Um,
Yeah,
but really overall, like Malone, like again, like you get leeway as an NBA coach because like you have to develop, you have to like build the team that you want to have in order to be successful in the long term. And Malone did that, and he won a championship. But when you are going to college basketball, and you're going to the University of North Carolina, like that's kind of like, hey, I'm going to become the manager for the New York Yankees. The expectations are, hey, win a World Series, or hey, win a national championship. I don't think that Malone's going to have that much leeway with the fans and the boosters in order to get to that point where he's going to be successful. Because the problem is, again, North Carolina is not in a good, like they had a, again, even though they were a 60, like that was more like a courtesy. Because really, like when you look at their play and look at their record, like, they should have been like more of an 8 or a 9 seed because they did not play well. And sadly, it's the fact that Malone, like he's got to get like hit the ground running, almost like Dusty May, like this past season. He's got to hit the ground running and then get going to like make it like a Sweet 16 or make an Elite Eight appearance to put the world on notice. But the problem is like for North Carolina, and I think their fandom, they don't really need to. I don't think they're going to give them that much leeway.
yeah, I agree. I think you're totally right, especially with what Dusty May's in year 2 or 3, and he's already won a national championship, so I definitely agree
Year
with that
two.
assessment.
Well, it'll be
So,
interesting to see how UNC does it. It'll be very interesting next year.
All right. After that, we got to talk about some golfing, boys. Um, Obviously, golfing last week had a lot of news to talk about. Obviously, the Masters was this past week, and then we'll get to that. But first, we got to talk about the Tiger Woods in his car accident,
mm,
and the fact that Woods has announced that he is going to go to rehab. He didn't really specify what it was for. He just said he's going to rehab. Uh, Gentlemen, what is your thoughts on that?
he just needs to start I think he should take a sponsorship with, Uber or Lyft, and I think he should only get Ubers or Lyfts for the rest of his life, and then he wouldn't have to worry about it. You know, I
As
think
long
it's
as
simple as
as
that.
long as as long as he's not working for Uber, I don't really want to be in the car with him.
I agree. I think that's yeah. Do not make a commercial with Tiger Woods picking you up, Uber or Lyft. Let's not do that. Let's avoid that.
Yeah.
That's
As someone who watches golf, like when I got the news, like it's obviously like sad to see like
yeah,
a guy like Tiger just like again, like I don't know what he's going through. Like some people, like I definitely know, like the officer said, like when they arrested him, like he blew like a .000 on alcohol, but like he refused to like do another test that would have indicated if he had drugs in his system or not. Um, and like again, like we're making light of this situation because like obviously like it's okay to make jokes because like again, like but the sad part is the fact that this is Tiger's second car accident in one calendar year in this almost the same literal situation where he rolled over his car.
yeah,
So, I won't, again, we're wishing nothing but the best for Tiger, but it's like at some point, like he's got to grow up and realize maybe I shouldn't be driving. If you have a problem, like whether it's alcohol, drugs, painkillers, whatever it might be, I don't know what his situation is, the dude's got to realize my health and my well-being is number one priority, but number two, it's like I shouldn't be driving if I am high on painkillers when there's other people on the road
yeah,
because that is like uberly dangerous. And think about it, if he kills somebody, it's like he's going to jail potentially for like 20, like 15 to like 30 plus years of his life.
yeah,
Meanwhile, while his kid is like starting to become like one of the top golfers in the amateur league.
yeah. It is sad too, because I mean it's sad for him. I think it is extra sad for his son Charlie, because then that kind of is a bad look on him too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because not because he's doing anything wrong, but it's because he shares the name. Like if our dad or your dad got arrested, people are gonna look at you and be like, your dad got arrested? Like, what's like it's one of those things where I think it's a little bit selfish on his part, but again, we don't know necessarily, like, on the outside, everything could look great. We don't know what's actually going on, you know? So it's a good opportunity to say, like, if you are struggling, if you're out there, you're listening to this and you're struggling with substance abuse, anything like that, please go get help. Like, truthfully, like, you aren't alone. There are people out there that do care about you. Go seek some help, and recover and make that recovery. It's better to admit you have a problem than to get into a potential situation like we said, thank goodness he wasn't hurt. Thank goodness nobody was hurt, ultimately, because that could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, and I mean, again, no celebrity is excluded from the law. Law is the law, but we still show sympathy for him, and we don't know what he's going through, so we wish him nothing but the best. He's obviously an incredible golfer, and we all speak so highly of this guy. We just can't. We just hope and pray that whatever he's going through, that he can get better, and will find himself being a better man, coming through this rehab, and hopefully we'll see him back out on the golf course next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's I just want to touch on what Aiden was talking about. Like I feel bad for Charlie in this situation, really his family, because like you're seeing the internet just mock your dad
Yeah.
for basically a whole week and potentially for the next like couple weeks because like there's a whole report like Tiger Woods was like saying, "Oh, I was talking to the president," and like like I saw some social media content creators like talk about like, "Oh, like here's Tiger like drive like people going to Dick's Sporting was like, hey, drive like Tiger," or like Tiger Woods like being at the Masters and like he's just driving his like SUV and rolling it onto the Masters green. It's like he's got to see that, and I don't know what that takes on him mentally speaking, but like you got to understand like if for Tiger it's like you're doing that to your son, which like I think number one like I think he's gonna realize like I gotta take a step back and just like do what's best for my relationship with my family and myself. But also too, it's like people also gotta realize like, hey, it's okay to make jokes, but it's like don't really like start like directing that at, someone that, for Charlie, for example, like he doesn't have control over what his dad does like 9% of the time because he's traveling like most of the year for golf tournaments. So like I think that people again like need to be a little bit more gracious and more sympathetic, and just like again like Tiger Woods like in the 2000s and 2010s was like he was an icon, like everyone like that knew of golf, and like they're like, hey, like is Tiger wearing his Sunday red? Yep. Okay, cool. He's gonna win a major then. Like I think he has like what the third or fourth most majors of any player in the history of golf. Like he's respectable. He's respectable, and again, like you're just wishing nothing but the best for him.
He's
Without a
second
doubt.
all time behind Jack Nicklaus with 15 professional major championships.
And what Jack Nicklaus has, what he has 22, I think
Uh,
23. I could be wrong.
Jack Nicklaus has 18.
Oh, I thought he had more than that. Shout out to Papa Bear. Shout out to Jack Nicklaus.
Facts.
Well, we just finished another big golf topic. The Masters just finished up. Peter, tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, first off, hello friends. Shout out to Jim Nance because that's still an iconic line regarding the Masters. But yeah, Rory McIlroy wins back to back. The ghosts are finally vanquished, gone forever, as Roy has won now the first back to back since Tiger Woods did so in the early 2000s. He's the fourth player ever to do so in the history of the Masters. Roy McIlroy also set a record for the most, I think, shots under par for or
He has
shot
the
lead
most.
through the
Yeah.
first two rounds. I think
Yeah.
he was 6 up on the person that was next to him at the end of the second round. And then I didn't really watch much of the Masters because I was busy working all weekend. But from what I saw and what I keep track of, Rory really let the gas off on day 3 and day 4
Yeah.
of the tournament, to the point where everyone's like, "Oh, he's starting to choke again." But I think it was more so the fact that I think Rory was just like trying to keep a steady pace and trying to see how the field was playing rather than like be uberly aggressive, like trying to get a lead.
Yeah.
Now,
That's, go ahead.
I just have a question for you, Peter. Now, someone like you who's more kept up on the world of golf compared to me, how big of a deal is it for him to go back to back and break some of these records?
Oh, it's a huge, massive deal because, like, number one, like the Masters is like the pinnacle tournament in golf. Like, it is like the creme de la creme. It's like the highest that you're gonna see out of any tournament. Like, if people are gonna be like, oh, like, well, there's the PGA Championship, there's the British Open, there's one more, there's the US Open. Like,
US Open.
yes, like those are big tournaments, but they're not even close to the same level as the Masters. Like, the Masters is extremely prestigious. There's a lot of rules. There's a lot of like qualifications that you have to meet in order to get to the Masters. And even then, it's like, they did say like Augusta National is one of the hardest golf courses in America. Like, there's a even it's beautiful. Like, I've seen people take pictures of Augusta National. Shout out to Ken Griffey Jr. if you guys need to look up 2025 when McElroy was on his knees, like like screaming at the sky, like as he won his first Masters ever to get the Grand Slam. Ken Griffey Jr. took that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I do remember
but
hearing that.
but again, like the Masters is like the best and biggest tournament in golf, and it's the most synonymous, really, with us as Americans. That again, even more casual viewers like, oh, like the Masters, like yeah, I know about that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's big for him because like again, McElroy, for our viewers that don't know, like he bursted onto the scene, I think back in 2011. He got to the Masters and like he had a big lead entering the last day, and then he choked and it was bad. And then for like almost like 15 years, like it always fall. I'm like, Roy's a choker at the Masters. He can't win the big one. And then when he finally won last year, it was like he won the Grand Slam, which is like I think he's like the 7th player ever to do so in his career. And then he wins back to back, where it's like, well, he's not a choker anymore, and he just won back to back when he's in elite company. I think it's like with Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, and there's one other player that won back to back.
Is it Arnold?
No, it's not Arnold Palmer. It's somebody else. Gosh, I can't remember his name, but he's the 4th player ever to do so, and really, for Rory to go back to back, it's a big thing for him.
Nick Faldo. Shout out Nick Faldo.
Shout out Nick Faldo.
Yep. No, you were dead right. You were absolutely correct on what you were saying, though. With I think Rory played a little bit more laid back in those final 2 rounds rather than trying to press forward. Let the field come to him rather than trying to just play aggressive and go and take more strokes on that lead. For those that don't know, Peter is like the resident really big golf fan. I'm kind of like second. I just got into golf like last year, really got into it. Same as Levi, but
I wouldn't call myself an expert, but I do keep up with it enough to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, more so than us. Yeah.
If you guys need lessons on how to get the perfect form, we'll have Peter send a video for you.
Don't go to us. No, don't do that.
Don't go to us. Have Peter do it for you. I'm sure he's got plenty of lessons.
So, yeah. So Rory had that absolutely historical start.
90 guys, so don't take lessons from me. I can barely break 90.
Yeah. Rory had that absolutely historical start. I think you were right. I think it was 6-stroke lead over second going into day 3. Absolutely unbelievable. I'm a big Scotty fan, so I was really pulling for him, hoping that he was going to find a way. Had a really good final 2 rounds, shot a 65 and a 68, and it was like in a singular monocle of grass, one singular blade that was probably holding the ball up, that we could have had a potential playoff with Rory and Scotty in day 4 there, which would have been electric. But shout out to Rory. Right. I mean, unbelievable to go back to back. Also, he didn't necessarily finish well, but this happened earlier last year, if I'm not mistaken. Tommy Fleetwood, big fan of his too. I really like him. Shout out to him. Just want to throw that out there really quick because I really like him, and he won one of his first majors last year, if I'm not mistaken. So he's kind of a cool guy. Anyways, that was super random and not just kind of out there. But yeah, shout out Rory. I wish Scotty would have finished that and won it, but what are you going to do?
I know he's getting a lot of money for that first place victory, that's for sure.
Yeah, $4.5 million.
I wish I was making $4.5 million for playing some golf. I'll tell you what. Shoot, I would take $100 just for hitting birdie, or not birdie, but par, because I don't do that very often either.
Dude, I'd just be elated to play at Augusta National, for crying out loud. I don't even care if I got paid money to play golf. I'd just be happy I'm playing at Augusta National.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of like that Brandon guy, or that Braden guy. He was the State Farm agent that he won that amateur tournament, and then like he got to play at Augusta National.
I don't think I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't think I've seen that. I've probably seen it, but
Aiden, look it up right now, because like there's a guy. He's a State Farm agent. I forget where he's at. He's from Bloomington, Illinois. He's literally like right down the street, like
really?
from where I'm at. He played at Illinois State, and then he became a financial person. And then became like a Brandon Holes. Yeah.
What a sick
he
name.
won an amateur tournament in Holtz. My bad. Apologies. My bad. Brandon Holtz. He was an amateur golfer, won enough amateurs. Like he did part-time because he wasn't going to go to the NBA. And he won enough amateur spots to get him an invitation to play at Augusta National. Now, he didn't play great because like obviously like what amateur golfer is ever going to play great at like the hardest golf course in America? But again, like it was a huge story, and like it was, again, he's just like, I'm just thankful for the opportunity just to play. Again, I'm like, Same, my guy. Same. I just be happy just to be there.
That is
That's a huge honor
pretty
for
sick.
sure.
With
I'd
his
love to be
dad
there.
caddying too. That's super sick. Shout
Yeah.
out to the Holtz family, man. That's sick.
I'd be willing to play the worst golf of my life just if it's done at that course.
A lot of rules
That's a
you got to
low
follow,
bar.
though.
That's true. Very true. Well, kicking things over now to the MLB. This past week, they just unveiled a few new Connect City jerseys for some of them. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and grade them. So why don't we lead off with the Atlanta Braves?
Sorry, I had to pull that up.
All good.
Um,
It's not bad. It's not. It's kind of like a reverse of their white ones. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
If you want me to be honest, it's kind of just a wannabe St. Louis jersey, minus the bird on the letters.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
I can see what you're saying after like we did the uniforms and Peter had his Cardinals jersey on. It does look fairly similar.
Now, are we rating
in
these
some
like out of
aspects.
10, or how are we doing that?
It's a
Gentlemen?
great. So like F is like trash. A is like it's great.
Okay, this
Like
is
amazing.
like this is for me. This is like a C tier, maybe a D tier. It's just okay.
I would
Like
say
it's nothing.
I would say C. It's decent. It's not great.
Yeah, C tier. There's nothing like too particularly pointed out. Like I was kind of hoping a little more, I guess, pizzazz with it, but you know, it's nothing crazy to brag home about. Next one, Cincinnati Reds.
All right.
No bias here, boys. No bias here. Be honest.
No, yeah, no, don't worry.
Bias,
If you want no
crap.
bias, you're gonna get it right here because I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna lead with that, right? Because I do like it a lot. I love the pinstripe. I'm the red on red's pretty sick in my opinion. If this was a vest, this would have been S tier. We're not even doing S tier, and it would have been S tier, right?
Mhm.
But the sleeves, because they decided to make the sleeves darker, it just kind of looks incomplete now. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't look
Oh yeah, I'm
like
noticing that.
yeah, like because for those that aren't aware, they like changed the sleeve color just like a little bit than like the main jersey, so it just kind of looks weird to be honest. So like for that reason, I'm putting it at B tier, but I do love it. I do like it more than the Atlanta Braves, so I think that is a valid take in my opinion.
For me, is probably going to come as a surprise. I'm going to give it a C tier. I'm personally not a whole huge fan of it, especially if I'm comparing it to their previous City Connect jersey, the black with the Cincy on it, rather than just the C there. I'm personally a bigger fan of that model than the new one that they came out with. I mean, obviously, you know, the Reds are known for their flashy red color, but that alternate black one, there's just something special about that one so much. And seeing Cincy, it just gives off really like an elite vibe feeling to me for the Cincinnati Reds. So therefore, for me, it's a C tier.
I'm gonna go with like a B minus for my grade. I think it's a definite improvement over the Cincy one because for me personally, I do not like black letters and black numbers on a black jersey because it's impossible to see what the heck's going on unless you're up close to it. I think it's definitely an improvement over that, but I think it's like a C plus. It's like it's decent, but it's not like man, like it's like I'd like pay $200 to get this jersey. I'm like no, like I probably wait for a discount.
That's a fair take.
Our next one is the Pittsburgh Pirates.
This is fire. This is a nice one.
This is fire. See, like this is an A tier jersey in my opinion. I also really like black jerseys already as is. It's like this is an A tier for me, easy. Like I love the patch on the arm as well. That's super sick. Like this is an easy A tier, in my opinion.
I'm with you guys. I really like this one. The letters, I don't know what it is, but there's the letters, they give off like a certain style that feels like kind of medieval with the way it's the font is for these letters. Looks really cool, and yeah, I'm a big fan of this, so I'm gonna give it an A as well.
I'm gonna give this an A plus. I think this is like easily like one of the best uniforms that we've seen for City Connects like in a long time. Bro, like I put it up there with almost like Southside Chicago when the White Sox came out with that. Like
That's
I
not a
love
terrible
this
take.
because like it's got the gold, like the yellowish like gold that symbolizes like pirate stuff. They got the old school pirate logo on the shoulder from like the 2000s with the swashbuckler on it, and the font is nice. And look in the picture that we have up is the Paul Skeens one. That like the points on like the numbers is like super nice.
Yeah, very clean.
I really like that. Next up is the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 on this one. Again, I like a darker jersey like this. I really like the sleeves with that orange trim on the sleeves. And again, I love the patch too. I think the patch is super dope. This is probably like a B plus, maybe just like a
Yeah,
flat B potentially, in my opinion. Like it's nothing special, but I appreciate it. I do appreciate this as a jersey.
yeah. Well, I mean, what are we looking at there on that patch? Is anybody able to
That's
tell
like
like
a
what we're looking
skeleton.
at?
It's kind of, I think, kind of like the movie Coco, you know, like in the movie Coco, like the skeletons. Like I think it's supposed to be
Yes.
kind of
Oh
like
yeah, I
that.
see. Okay,
Celebrates the Day of
kind
the
of give
Dead,
them.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking like Day of the Dead vibes. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. I don't know like the whole story with Padres and how like maybe a Day of the Dead patch relates to them. So just going off of just looks
Yeah, I don't
alone,
know the
I'm
background on
gonna
it.
I'm gonna give it a B just off look alone.
I'm gonna give it
B
a B
tier.
too. I think it's a pretty nice jersey. It's very reminiscent of their white one, whereas it was like green and red. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but they went with a different direction. Again, I love the font on the front. I love the numbering, like the way that looks. But like, I think it's B. It's a solid one. It's not terrible.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to shout out our buddy Bryce Brown because I know we did our uniform draft a couple weeks ago, and I believe Aiden chose one of the Brewers ones, and it was
Yeah.
a phenomenal jersey. And now going on to this City Connect jersey for the Brewers, like I feel like they're low key cooking with their jerseys right now. I I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. This is an interesting alternate jersey to me. Hear me out. I just love the Wisconsin font right there on the front. I think it's pretty cool. Um, I I think I don't know what the patch is going on over there, but I low key I kind of like it. It's an interesting alternate compared to what they normally wear. That's just me.
Um. I.
I'm gonna give it a
I.
B.
I. I. I'm at a. I'm speechless. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna quote our good friend Stephen A. Smith and say, "Stay off the weed." Okay, let's dial that back. All right,
Stay
because
off the
this
weed.
this
Duh.
jersey is buns.
Really?
This jersey is.
What do you not like about it?
No, this jersey is buns. First of all, the patch sucks. All right. Second of all, the font's okay. All right. Well, they can have that, I suppose. We'll give them credit on the font. I don't know what's going on with like the rainbow colors on it. Like, and that's not like a political statement or anything, but like, I don't understand what's the point of it. Like, I don't get that. There's no point.
Yeah, the
right?
rainbow trim on the freaking letters and numbers. What's going on with that?
And then to counteract that, in our picture is the Yelich jersey. Why are the names in orange? What's the like? I don't know if there's a connection there, but like
you're in the state of Wisconsin. Do you remember the Brewers jerseys like back when like Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder played?
Yes,
those are Those are great uniforms. Let's just do a rendition of what is this? This looks like a freaking Timu looking jersey if I've ever seen
Yeah,
one in my entire life.
this jersey is buns. I'm giving this like a D minus. I won't put it
I'm
an
giving
F
this.
just because.
I just want to point this out too. Wisconsin has had a history of bad City Connect jerseys. Like go to the NBA with their Bucks. Do you guys remember Cream City when the Bucks came out with that
Yes,
uniform?
yes, I do remember Cream City.
Dude, I don't know why everyone that's an NBA fan's like that's like the hardest jersey to find.
Well,
But yeah, I'm gonna give this an F.
yeah,
This is a bad jersey. Like I just like the Brewers like cooked like their Brew Crew uniform from a few years ago was awesome. This one
yeah,
is just like like you have a history with your organization since like the 2000s where you have a lot of cool designs. Like you went retro with the Milwaukee Brewers with like the glove mitt thing. You did Brew Crew, which was awesome. Your 2010s and 2000s uniforms were amazing because they had like the wheat that had Brewers on. Like there's so many cool things you could do with the state of Wisconsin and the city of Milwaukee, and you went with this. You
yeah.
definitely were on something when like whoever did this, go back to graphic design school. This is terrible.
Agreed.
Well, my bad, Bryce. You got one fan of the jersey, but other than that, no one else.
Dude, does
So,
he even like
but
the
I guess
jersey? I think we need to like look.
I guess
Jersey.
I guess we'll have to
You
consult
live
him on
with
that.
the
But
man. You live with the man.
I
Grab
guess
him and get.
I guess the Brewers love Timu jerseys. So
Yeah,
moving on. Let's see what we have next here.
Baltimore
This
Orioles.
is the Orioles.
This jersey's even
Be more.
worse, unironically. Actually, it's a little bit better because of the bird on it. Shout out to
Yes.
the Oriole. Um, Other than that, it's garbage too. I don't
The
like
number
this.
5
Be
is
more,
bad.
but like be more,
Yeah.
what? Like,
Dude, I will say this right now though, it is better than the previous City Connect jersey. Remember that black one that had like the black text on the front?
yes,
That was bad. That was like you
but
didn't even
like,
try. This one at least they
but like,
tried.
well, whoever's trying for them needs to maybe stop trying. Okay, let's stop cooking. All right, let's
Let's
not.
stop cooking.
All right. This jersey sucks. I do like the patch actually with the baseball. It's kind of cool. I also like the Oriole on it, and the number font is pretty
Mhm.
cool. Other than that, buns. Why does it say "Be More" on the front? That looks ridiculous. This jersey's getting a D plus from me.
This is giving I'm gonna give a D as well. This is not a good again, it's better than whatever the Brewers were cooking up because the
Agreed.
Brewers, I'm pretty sure they were just on something. At least this one, like they attempted to like go with the heritage of like Camden Yards a little bit in the history of the team, but like I give it a D. It's definitely better than the previous one with the black jersey that had like Baltimore on the front.
I think the best factor for this jersey is just the bird. Be more does definitely feel a little weird. I mean, if you're not a fan, I mean, you're probably looking at this and like, who is this for, and why are they called Be More? It doesn't really make sense. So I'm gonna give it a D as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that
yeah.
one's crazy. Okay. What we got next? We have the Texas Rangers.
I I don't want to rant on this jersey again because I've done it 2 straight jerseys. This jersey's okay. It's the patch sucks, so that's not very cool, unfortunately. The trim work on the sleeves is kind of cool, I guess. Um, I see what they were trying to do with the Texas on the front, and it's kind of I don't know if that's supposed to be Spanish for
Yeah, what in
Texas.
the world are they
It's
doing? Tejas?
it's
Like, I
Spanish.
mean,
It's Spanish. It's
And
Spanish.
I know there are some other teams in the past that have done that with some of their City Connect jerseys, but like I feel like they could have gone another direction with, especially if they were gonna go Spanish. Add some more like I mean, why all red for that in this scenario? I don't know again. Maybe I'm not aware. It's just okay. The pants are actually pretty sick. Not gonna lie, with that stripe down the side, that's pretty dope.
Yes,
I
I
won't
agree
lie.
with that. That's actually dope.
That's actually really cool.
But again, it's just kind of middle of the pack. I'd give it like a C plus.
I give it a C. It's a very average jersey.
Yeah, and I mean the colors. I guess again they kind of seem a little off for the Rangers going this with this red. Um, I'm just gonna give it a C. All right, and we have our last one. We are looking at the Royals.
I'm gonna let you guys
Now,
start this off because I want your
I was gonna
opinions on
say
this
I'll
before.
start this one off first. Especially considered I've had a interesting track record of my gradings here. So, I mean they're called the Royals. So I think this one probably has to be the best one out of all the ones we've done. This actually it makes sense for them. You know, you got the little crown on the R right there, standing for the Royals. They got like a purplish, bluish color going on. Probably best represents like royalty when you're thinking of that. Um, I think it's kind of cool, but out of fear of having a crazy take here, I'm gonna give it an A.
Peter, do you want to go next? You want me to go?
I can go.
Okay.
These uniforms are buns. This is bad. Like the previous, the previous Kansas City Royal City Connect was a lot better. This one, like, I like white jerseys personally. I do. I get what they're trying to go for. Can we stop doing the multicolor patching stuff on a jersey? We just literally crucified the Brewers for doing that. Why are you doing that? And you're not even like adding a lot to it. It's just plain. You didn't even try to do that. Kansas City has a lot of history and a lot of heritage and history. This one's just like there's nothing to it. I think this is like a D plus because it's like I do like the design with the R and the crown, but like it's like a D plus at best. It's definitely better than Wisco. I will say it's better than that, but
I think so. I think I'm gonna surprise both of you here because these jerseys are gas. I love these jerseys.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm in the minority.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, look up the hats that go with this. They are super dope. I know I just crucified Wisconsin for the color scheme stuff with like but this just works. Like this makes sense. Like this actually works. I love the R with the crown. That's super dope. Again, the hat looks like a crown. Like this just works for me. Like I love this
Wait, I
jersey.
need this. Oh damn! I'm actually might have to change my grades by seeing the hat. Never mind. Oh
Like
no.
this is
Hey, if we can change
definitely.
grades, I might have to revoke my Milwaukee Brewers
Whoa,
grade.
whoa, whoa! Nah, you're locked in, buddy. No,
No, you're locked in on that.
yeah,
You're locked in on that.
yeah, you're locked in on that. But I'm giving
Yeah.
this an A
All right.
plus. This is my favorite. Actually, it's my second favorite jersey behind the Pirates jerseys. I'm gonna give it an A. Yeah,
I'm gonna have to, ladies and gentlemen, like I'm gonna have to remote mine because I'm gonna have to give it like a C plus. That's actually a really nice hat. I'm not gonna lie. Not a fan of the jersey still, but like the hat's actually pretty gas. I'm not gonna lie.
You know, and if we're trying to be picky about the jersey a little bit, the only thing I'm not a fan of is the number kind of like in the bottom left corner on the front of the jersey. I thought that's a little
Where it's like
looks a little
solid.
weird. Yeah, I don't know what they were trying to go for with
see,
having small number
I
there.
will say though, I think this says a lot on my opinion on this because I also picked the Arizona Diamondbacks with the purple sleeves as one of my favorite jerseys, like one of my top 5 jerseys. So I think that should give some type of indication on why I really like this jersey, you know what I'm saying? Because it's similar idea, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, I love this. I think the trim work is sick. It's just, yeah. But yeah, all in all, solid. decently solid City Connect jersey drop there from all the teams that we went over there. I think you were saying, Peter, before the show, there are some more that should be coming, if I'm not mistaken.
There were some uniforms that were potentially being teased. I forget what teams they were, but there might be like 2, maybe 3 more coming out this year for baseball. But I'm not gonna lie, I have all these. That Pirates one is
Yeah. Yeah, but so
nice.
on
Well,
that note,
if the rumors are true, just be ready for another video where you can hear my abysmal uniform takes. That's all I'll
yeah,
say.
exactly.
Levi
But
is a
on that,
fan of Cream City Milwaukee Bucks uniforms, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah,
You heard it here first,
but
folks.
yeah, but on that note, I'm gonna actually transfer this over. The NBA playoffs are set in stone now.
Yes, sir.
I
Lakers are number
believe,
4, baby.
yeah, I believe the Warriors somehow snuck in. I don't know how they did that, especially with they near G League roster they've been playing with all year.
G League
But
rosters.
dude, I'm so serious. I'm so serious.
Yikes.
Did you guys see it's like a post-game interview. There was an account that it was waiting for like 2 years for Brandon Podziemski to drop a 30-point game before it tweeted again, and he shouted
I
it
did
out.
see that, yeah.
Yeah, like they were literally just playing with a G League roster, like straight up. Jimmy Butler was hurt. Steph Curry was hurt. Draymond Green is Draymond Green. Like, let's just not even like if he was still like 2016 to 2019 Draymond, sure, but he's not that anymore. Um, but yeah, what do you guys think of how things have shaken out? Obviously, we got the play-in to go through first before it's technically official. But what do you guys think?
Well,
Um,
if you don't mind sharing, Aiden, real quick. I mean, you're touching on the Warriors a little bit there. I feel like you gotta talk about Curry. Like, what do you think about Curry? You think he can go and maybe
No,
turn this team around as they get in the playoffs?
no,
No.
no. Respectfully, as much as I love Curry, he's easily a top, in my opinion, top 5 player to ever touch a basketball. Um, there's only so much you can do. Like, he can hit, 13 threes. It doesn't matter when you don't really have a defensive presence, like a true defensive presence. Like Draymond used to be that guy. Klay Thompson was a really good defender back before his injuries. We don't have Klay Thompson anymore. Draymond is the definition of like, might as well just be a UFC fighter out there. Like, and then you got a guy like Kristaps Porzingis who like can't stay healthy. So it's just like all in all a bad time over there. Uh
Aiden, did you
I
see the Anthony Davis show where he
yes, I
pranked
did.
Draymond Green by
Yes,
in
I
that?
did.
And he goes like, "This isn't the G League. This is the NBA." Draymond like
I heard
literally
about
threatened
that.
violence.
Yes.
He threatened violence on the guy. He goes like, "By the end of this meeting, I will f you up." And I started laughing because I'm like,
Yes.
"That's the most Draymond Green response I have
Yes.
ever
That's
heard
such
in
Draymond
my
Green
entire
response. I
life."
love that. That
Yeah,
dude
that's
cracks
I
me
said,
up,
"God,
both on and off the court.
yeah, I'm telling you, that's just what the Warriors, that's the story of the Warriors, okay? So, but all right, so go ahead.
Well,
By the end of
Levi,
this,
you can
by the
take
end
it,
of this
Levi.
meeting, I will f you up. Is
Yeah,
what
Levi,
Draymond
you
Green
can go
said.
ahead and
The
take it
epitome
for
of the
what you
season.
think the Lakers are gonna do since
Oh
you're,
my god!
Mr. Laker
well,
guy over there.
for me, they've had an incredible season, and my only concerns going into this is Luca going to be healthy enough to lead this team to an NBA championship overall? I mean, he got injured right here, like not like a week or two ago, and now this team looks like they I believe they got a few pieces just a couple of days ago too to kind of fill in the meantime until he was coming back. He should be ready for playoffs. I just hope that these injuries are just not so severe that he'll be able to come in with full force. LeBron, obviously, my stance on LeBron, being the big LeBron guy. And I'll say this: the just one thing that I'm not been a big fan of is I feel like the LeBron and Luca duo doesn't really work quite as much. You have these two big guys playing for the same team, and I feel like to get on the same page together hasn't been the easiest thing, and especially in this transition with Luca now being one of those guys ultimately. And
Don't forget
but
Austin
I
Reeves is in
think
there
none of
too.
yeah, and Austin Reeves, and I know he's injured too. I'm not sure
Yeah.
when he'll be back, but I believe if I think if we at least get through a few rounds of the playoffs, I believe Reeves will be back in time, assuming we can get there far enough. But overall though, they're the last month of the season. I mean, they only took what I believe like a few losses in the month of March. So I think they really have proven themselves, and I'm excited to see them, and I really hope again, me being full biased and a big LeBron fan, if this is his last year, I really hope that he's the one to go finish it up this season with one more championship um, down on his neck. Like
Yeah.
that's really what I'm hoping
Um,
for. But time was only going to tell. There's obviously a lot of good teams out there. I
so
want to
let
shout out real quick the Detroit Pistons, who have had a huge turnaround after a couple seasons ago where they were like the worst and had the worst record. And Cade Cunningham has turned that organization around
love Kate
significantly.
Cunningham. He's a dog. Yeah, I do want to ask really quick. Sorry, Peter. Really fast to you, Levi. In regard to the Lakers, they're starting. Their first series is gonna be against the Rockets. You know me. I don't like the Lakers. I don't think they're that good. I am impressed that they made the playoffs. Who's gonna guard KD? Cause,
LeBron.
cause
Let's put LeBron there,
LeBron.
obviously,
Oh,
of course.
right. Yeah. Oh, darn. Why didn't I think of that? He's
They're
41.
gonna put they're gonna put the retirement home guy on Kevin Durant. That's crazy.
He's 41. I'm sorry. I'm not saying he's a bum. He's not guarding Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is dang near 7 foot with a 8 wingspan or whatever, 7'5" wingspan. Like, who's guarding him? Yeah, they might have offense out the wazoo, but if you can't get a stop to save your life, what does that matter? I this has been an ongoing conversation behind the scenes, folks. So I'm very passionate that the Lakers should have traded for more defense this year. Instead, they just have offense, 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 and I don't think that's enough to take them all the way. I don't think they make it out of the first series. Hot take.
I mean,
I don't know.
if they're all offense, I would hope that you know, at the very least, I hope we can have a somewhat decent defense. If not, obviously we're going to be relying on offense the entire game, of course, to put us up. And just it's just a matter of if we can compete with the Rockets enough to say who's going to score the most, who's going to score the fastest. That's kind of what I guess the Lakers are looking at. And with again Luka coming off his injury and Reeves still out, I personally full unbiased opinion, I personally am a little concerned about them going into this first round.
I'm just worried that if Kevin Durant does lose in the first round to the Lakers, that burner account that he had is gonna go wild. If for those that don't know, Kevin Durant got linked up to a burner account, which just want to point out for people. He says some things about his teammates that I cannot say on this podcast. Shout out to Jabari Smith because apparently he equated him to a crayon eater.
What?
Yeah, he called Jabari Smith a crayon eater.
That's crazy.
There
didn't
are
see that.
stuff
That's
that he
actually
has
crazy.
said about the coaching staff, the executives, his own teammates that, mind you, I cannot say on this podcast because it is not appropriate, but he called Jabari Smith Jr., his literal teammate that he shared the starting lineup with, a crayon eater.
That's insane.
Well, when you got a guy like that who's jumped team to team in like the
Man.
past 10, 15 years, what more can you expect from him?
Dude, because
That's
here's the problem. Like,
wild.
Kevin Durant's like a top, 15, 10 talent of all time, but he's like one of the worst teammates of all time, too. Oh, no. Oh, man. But yeah, I think a storyline for me that stuck out throughout this whole entire NBA season, because again, I don't know, like, for the viewers listening and watching this, like, we haven't talked about the NBA at all. This is the first time we're talking about it. I am very surprised with the Boston Celtics this season.
Yes.
Because, mind you, this was a year that they were supposed to be bad. Like, they're supposed to be a play-in quality team at best. They traded Drew Holiday away. They traded Kristaps Porzingis away. Jason Tatum was out with an Achilles injury, and they're the second seed in the East.
Shout out
I
Jaylen
think they
Brown.
had how many?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out like Jaylen Brown, like makes a case the fact that he should be the MVP this year. I mean, but I mean, shoot, like Peyton Pritchard stepped up. Derek White, shout out Derek White. But like, I mean, shoot, like they had almost 60 wins this year, and Tatum only like played what, like probably like 11, 12
He was like
games.
yeah, I mean, he was only in the last month of the NBA season. He didn't play a whole lot.
Yeah, so mind you, and they're gonna get Jason Tatum again. We don't know the full extent of how healthy he is going into this playoffs. But if he's gonna be fully healthy going into this playoffs, like the Celtics are in a very good spot because they get to play the winner of Sixers and Magic, which that's very favorable for them. And then they potentially get to play Atlanta or they play the Knicks, which I hope that they play the Knicks because that's gonna be some great television to watch.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I mean the Knicks, they've also have had a few interesting seasons as of late, and it'd be pretty exciting to see. I know, obviously, I know a lot of our New York fans. We talk about the Knicks and especially of how bad they have been over the past few years. But I mean, last year and I think the year before, if I recall, like these guys have they've been very good. And
Shout out
I
Jalen Brunson.
honestly, yeah, I would love to. I'd love to see them go win it all. That'd be really cool. I know those Knicks fans. I know how those Knicks fans are. I think back to that Disney movie Soul. They talk about how they're torturing a team, and it was the New York Knicks.
Reference.
I've been messing with this team for years, and the Knicks lose again.
That's a great reference.
I've never seen a movie directly target the demise of a team. What was that movie like back in the day where it was that Adam Sandler movie where the kid was like the gosh darn Jets? It was that movie, and then it was talking about how bad the Jets were. And like the soldiers were like straight up to like a point blank shot at the Knicks. I'm like, you guys suck.
That's
New York fans in all sports really just can't catch a break, honestly.
No, they can't.
Bro, the only time that I think about or I see the Knicks is the fact that Jalen Brunson has a podcast, and he has a podcast with Josh Hart because they were both teammates at Villanova. Mm-hmm. And apparently they went through a whole entire comment about how people were calling Karl Anthony Towns way too zesty on the court.
Dude, he is zesty.
He goes, stop! That's a foul! And I'm just like, please stop talking like that. For your own well-being, please stop talking like that. And even Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart was like, dude, like, he's got to stop talking like that. It was so funny. There's a video out there, and there's like, bro, like, he's just out there, like, saying stuff that he just needs to stop talking.
Yeah, so I actually I have a question for you guys really quick. This is something we've never really done, but I want you to pick what at least not the I guess we technically did it for the March Madness thing. Like, what do you think is going to be the best first round like for this playoff? Like, what you can choose the the play-in games or any of the already set like games. I'll lead off so you can get I'll lead off so that way you can get an idea. But like for me, I'm looking at that Pistons Hornets series. That should be an absolutely fire series. It's a LaMelo Ball and Con Knipple. Absolute dogs. First duo since Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to hit 270 plus threes in a season. And then like Levi already covered with Cade Cunningham. Absolute squad over there. I think that should be an absolutely phenomenal series. But that's my take. Like,
I'm looking at the that Nuggets Timberwolves matchup. I think that's going to be a very fun series to watch. I mean, obviously, like the Nuggets have been like one of the most underrated teams because like they were like a pretty good team without Jokic for almost like what was like 2 to 4 weeks, if I remember correctly, with his knee injury. And
Yeah, I don't recall.
The Timberwolves have like, again, like even though like by their expectations, like they haven't been playing well, like I would assume like that has been a great pickup for them at the deadline to rejuvenate their backcourt, especially with uh Anthony Edwards being out. And for those of you that don't know, like the Jokic brothers made internet history when they freaked out and almost threatened fans to death when they were at a Nuggets game and they were playing the Timberwolves. And again, if you know, you know, the Jokic bros are jacked
Crazy.
guys, like, and they're crazy. So, but I'm looking forward to that series because the Timberwolves and the Nuggets do have a little bit of rivalry history. So,
For me, and this is going off of speculation that these two teams will get past the second round and get to the semifinals. But I think the most exciting matchup, if it gets to happen, will be the Spurs and the Nuggets. So the last game of the season, they actually just faced off, and obviously with the Spurs being the number 2 seed, they didn't really need to play a whole lot of their guys, and so they got beat by the Nuggets. But I'm just pretty excited to see Wembanyama and Jokic go up against each other. I think those are, if we're talking about the faces of the NBA right now in modern times currently, you're going to have Jokic and Wembanyama, and I think that one could be the best series throughout the entire playoffs, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and boys, there was some big NBA news that happened this past week. The Chicago Bulls, the team that I support, I'm a fan of, has decided to finally hit the Control-Alt-Delete button. Basically, decide to fire their president of basketball operations and their GM, both. With the president, Michael Reinsdorf, announcing that the Bulls are heading into a new direction. They fired the president, Arturas Karsanovas, and general manager Mark Eversley after a few seasons that they have been the very definition of mid to just outright unplayable, and they decided to pull the plug this year and basically traded every single great player that they have for second-round draft picks, which, yay. Second round draft picks, woo. They mean absolutely nothing to me. If you can't tell, guys, I am in purgatory when it comes to basketball fandom in the NBA.
I'm surprised you
It's
even
bad.
have some pride. I'm surprised you even have pride wearing that jersey right now.
It's an Io Dosumu jersey. Shout out Io.
Yeah, R.I.P. Io. He lasted like 2 years there, and then they traded him.
No, he was there since I think it was like 21 is when he got drafted. So he's been there for like 5 years.
Four or five.
Yeah. But like again, like it's the biggest. I'm not gonna go on a rant here, so just let me cook a little bit.
Yeah,
The biggest problem I have with this organization is the fact that they were so adamant that the whole Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White, Valanciunas, like that starting five was going to be the best thing in the NBA, and they never adapted. Like, it was great during I think it was like the 2020-21 season where it's like they were leading the NBA in wins at one point, and then the whole team got hurt, and the whole team got COVID, and everything fell apart, and then Lonzo Ball's need to decide to explode and just not, become a little noodle. And the problem was the organization never adapted. They spent the 4th overall pick on Patrick Williams. He's getting paid $90 million, and he's not even a good starter. He's one of the worst role players statistically in the NBA. He's getting paid $90 million. He is he is like, geez, I'm trying to think of a good way to describe it. He is like the Albert Hainsworth of the NBA. Like, he's getting paid a crap ton of money to do absolutely nothing on a day in and day out basis. And then you traded your best player in Io this year for a second round pick in Robert Dillingham, which cool. Rob Dillingham should have been the starter for Minnesota when he took over Mike Conley, and the Bulls traded for Mike Conley, and then they gave him away for nothing. Like this team had no direction. Like they gave up every good player for second round picks, which cool. Our truth is like, well, I drafted Nikola Jokic in the second round. Well, did you or did the GM do that? Because I don't really care at this point. Second round draft picks, like good, like cool, like Draymond Green, Nikola Jokic. There's some other good second round draft picks. Like Iowa's a good second round draft pick that you got. It's like you can find some good diamond in the rough players in the second round, but to trade every single good player, Kobe White for a second round, Io for a second round, you basically had to trade Zach LaVine as a salary dump for next to nothing. You basically let DeMar DeRozan go for next to nothing. Kobe White was a second round pick. Nikola Vucevic was traded to the Celtics for next to nothing. Like, what are we doing? Like, in the fact that that Reinsdorf came out and said, we're going in a new direction. Billy Donovan is going to be the head coach, and whoever's the next GM has to work with Billy Donovan. I'm like, why? Just mutually part ways with Billy Donovan at the end of the season and go get a new coach, go get a new GM, go get a new president, go in a whole new direction together as one and figure this out. I have yet to see the Bulls be a competent ran organization since Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler were teammates and Tom Thibodeau was the head coach. Like, what are we doing? Like, my favorite player in the NBA is Ayo Dosunmu, and he's balling out. He's scoring almost 20 points per game in Minnesota since the trade went through when he went to Minnesota, and he's been balling out like an all-star level caliber guard. And I'm just sitting here going, Rob Dillingham hit a three. Meanwhile, I'm in hell.
So to me, it sounds like you're you're pretty happy with this clean house. It was very well deserved.
Yes, it should have happened last year. They should have fired them last year.
It was only a matter of time, and now here we are.
I do feel bad. Well, because I was reading something like Billy Donovan was like, questioning potentially his future there. I kind of feel for him, he's kind of stuck in that middle, where he's no longer got a president or a GM in front of him, ahead of him or above him rather. So he's kind of in like a weird spot. And I feel for you, Peter, as a Bulls fan. Like, I love Nikola Vucevic. He's actually one of my favorite, like, kind of like one of my favorite centers in the NBA, which is really just like a random guy. I've always really liked him. Maybe because of like 2K20 or something. Like I don't know. I've always liked, but you got Josh Giddey at the starting point guard. He's not bad. He's not like horrible,
I forgot about Josh Giddey. We gave him a contract extension for nothing.
Yeah, you do like the Bulls should probably never have a night where there are any girls under the age of 18 in the arena, but
allegedly.
But he's usable. He can at least do something for you guys.
He is one of at the beginning of the season he was one of the best offensive efficiency guards. But if you look at defensive efficiency, he was like near the bottom in terms of starting caliber guards in the NBA. And I'm like, oh my god, like this, like it makes no sense. We traded Alex Caruso for him for
yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I do have a friend who's like super high on Rob Dillingham and thinks he will like become the guy. So if you're patient, there's a chance. Because my buddy said
if he couldn't get the starting role over 36 or like 37-year-old Mike Conley, who shout out Mike Conley, great ball player, Mike Conley. He was a Bull for like 5 minutes, and then we cut him for nothing, and they went back to the Timberwolves. So great job, Marcus Everly and our train. Great job. But
what's not very good. I mean, I don't know. I guess where do you go from here? What do you do now?
I mean, I just don't know. Like, as a Bulls fan, it's like it makes sense for the Bulls to mutually part ways with Billy Donovan because it's not his fault the roster is this bad. Like at one point, the Bulls didn't have a player that was above 6'9" on the roster. Like they have to visually think of how we're going to move forward and get better as a team and as an organization. And Michael Reinsdorf was just adamant, like, we're going to have Billy Donovan as head coach. Why? Like, they need a whole new fresh start, whole new coaching staff. This core of players like Colin Sexton, Robert Dillingham, Josh Giddey, it's like they have like a bazillion guards that like no wing and no forward depth. It's like what are we doing? Like they need to go in direction that really it starts with this draft. Like they have to go into this draft with a game plan and an idea of what are they going to do. Because if they don't have that and they draft another Patrick Williams, I'm pretty sure Chicago's going to burn down the United Center at this rate.
There is one positive I would say overall for the Bulls right now. It's that you guys do hold 2 first-round picks. Now,
one of them is lottery protected by the Portland Trail Blazers,
yes,
which they're in the lottery.
Yep. So, there is some. Sorry.
Oh, the Blazers are in the play-in, so I don't know if that's lottery protected or not. But go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It says protected 1 through 14. I'm not super familiar with the NBA draft system on kind of.
I think if the Blazers win versus the Suns, they get the 7th seed, and the Bulls will have their pick. So I need to root for the Blazers to win.
Yeah. But so you have the potential for 2 first-round picks, which could be like that could be very beneficial, especially for what looks like it should be a pretty decent draft class, coming out of this year from college, So there is a potential for some positive there, so it's not all bad. It's just mostly bad,
If the Bulls draft Daryl Patterson, he like subs out halfway through the game because like he's like, I'm tired of playing basketball. I want to be done for the day. I might literally lose my mind.
Yeah, and that's valid. But
well, hopefully, I mean, they turn something around because the Chicago Bulls, they are just one of 10 teams this year who had 50 or more losses on the NBA season. That's a third of the league that have had 50 or more losses. And this kind of goes into the whole discussion they've had since probably the start of the season. And even beyond that is the whole idea of tanking. Like, what do you guys say right now to not just the Bulls, but all these other teams who maybe supposedly, allegedly are intentionally tanking? Like, what do we need to do here? What does the NBA need to do to fix this problem?
This is such a complicated problem, in my opinion. Like, there isn't really a right or wrong answer, right? Because the whole idea of the lottery system is to help avoid tanking because then, you're not guaranteed the first round pick anyways. Like, so that's the whole, so that's what, that was supposed to be like hey, don't tank because it doesn't necessarily matter. But I don't want to say I don't know that necessarily every single team, all 10 teams that finished with 50 losses were tanking, right? Like, I don't think it's fair to say the Pacers were tanking because they still have Tyrese Halliburton. Like, he's still alive. He's just hurt, like he will be back. They still have a good young core that just went to the NBA finals, right? Like, they still have that. So I don't think they're tanking, right? I think it was just an unforeseen set of circumstances and they didn't play well and it just didn't work, right? But that's just one example, I should add. Like, I'm not necessarily saying that they aren't tanking, but like that, I would lean that they aren't. Or like the Mavericks, they just got Cooper Flag, right? They just got an absolute stud in Cooper Flag too. Shout out him going for like 30, 30, and 40 or whatever it was just recently. One of the first and only players, I think, to do that, if I recall. Levi, do you remember that stat? They showed it during the broadcast against the Lakers.
Yeah, he's the first player to do 30, 30, 40 in like consecutive games.
Yeah, so been absolutely dogging. They lost 56 games. Do I think it's because they're tanking? No, I think their roster just isn't quite there. I think they were trying to win. I just don't, it just wasn't enough, especially in a stacked West like that too, to keep in mind. But
Yeah, but I think to counterpoint that, like, you take a look at the Utah Jazz and the way that they have ran their organization, their games. Like, they bought in at the deadline. They got Jaren Jackson. They got good players on their roster. And then multiple times this year, it's like they intentionally sat them in the fourth quarter so they can lose those games and they get a better position in the draft to get AJ DeBansa or Keaton Wagler or Cameron Boozer in this upcoming draft. It's like, we get that. Like, we get the fact that, hey, like, we're not there yet as a team. Like, we still need building blocks, but it's like, to intentionally just straight up like drop games and to literally lose games on purpose to like get a better draft position. Like, it violates the integrity of the game. And like, again, like, Adam Silver has, talked about multiple times, like, where or not he's going to get rid of the draft lottery or is going to adjust the odds to basically, deter teams away from tanking. Or he's like strips like, I heard like one system that he talked about was like, teams cannot be in the lottery in like 3 consecutive seasons, and if they do, they have to forfeit their draft pick. It's like he's trying to do ways to like force these ownerships and force these teams to be like, you are not going to be bad. Because literally, here's a problem: if you're a fan of these, like, a third of the NBA teams are garbage. They're bad. Think about that as a fan. Like, you're spending like what, probably like 200, maybe like $250 tickets to go to see, like, I don't know, like a Cleveland, like, or like a Lakers or Warriors or Chicago Bulls or whatever team you're a fan of, and that's not including parking, that's not including concessions, that's not including merchandise, and already all those are uberly expensive as it is.
True.
And and basically, like, they're keeping those marquee game prices up the whole year. And Charles Barkley had a good point. It's like, how you deter these teams away from not tanking? Make them feel in their wallet. If the team is like, has like a sub 500 record, they can't have tickets go over like $150. Like, that's not good for the product, and that's not good for the fan base as a whole to support a team that's not trying.
Yeah. And, presenting this in like, well, we could present this in like a whole nother episode. This subject probably we could go on about, but I think more, out of any team in the NBA that seems like there must be some type of tanking going on, would probably be the Milwaukee Bucks. There's been a lot of controversy going on with them lately in the news and stuff. That can deem its own episode, but I do think that they could be one of the prime examples of true tanking right now in the NBA league.
Yeah, and I think the hard thing too about cracking down on tanking is, like, kind of like I mentioned, there really isn't necessarily a right answer, right? Like, yeah, you could force them to, lose ticket prices or whatever, okay? But does that really matter if they get the number one pick? Like, then they're just gonna essentially, almost, the fans are gonna be like, oh, number one pick, we're gonna get the best player in the draft. And if you look in the past 2, 3 drafts, I mean, we're looking at Victor Wembanyama, Cooper Flag. That is dang near enough to bring in the fan base in general, right? Like, it
Right.
might, and even then, same idea, right? Okay, so it's a $200 game. You only sell 35-40% of the tickets, right? Well, now it's a $100 game. You sell 80% of the tickets. You technically still earn the same amount, like, that they were already earning. So you're really not even losing, theoretically, of course. Obviously, you're losing on potential earnings if you had the same price tickets, but it's there. I don't feel like there's necessarily an objectively correct answer, and I think that's the really difficult part. I like you can't, because, and I think it boils down to what basketball is, right? 5 players can, 1 player out of 5 can make a significant impact, versus if you look like in the NFL, where you see a team tanking and they're tanking, but just because they got the first overall pick really doesn't mean anything, because that 1 player has 21 other players that have to help that team produce, right? And that's, of course, being offense and defense. Let's say like Travis Hunter, top pick, right? Just because, but he's only one of 21 other players that have to help that team produce. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
whereas you look at the Bucks, you look at, the Pacers, They have Tyrese Halliburton, you know? They have Benedict Mathurin, who I'm a big fan of. I don't know, that's just random, but, like, I love, like, that's a good core. Now, let's say they would have drafted Victor Wembanyama, right? That one player with Tyrese Halliburton, dang near would be enough to help propel them into a playoff spot. Like, that's the difficult part, is it's how different of a game basketball truly is, where one player can make a difference. You know, now we don't see it often, but one player really can make a difference in that type of setting.
And I think that's like the problem too. Is like a lot of people are just like, well, do what the NBA does and just go by record. It's like, well, the problem is like, for the NBA, like in Aiden's points, like they like one player can make a massive difference on a roster compared to one guy out of 11. Like, again, like a Victor Wembanyama can like literally like do like the role of like 4 players on his team, and he's just one guy. So it really just boils down to like, how do we deter tanking? And again, like I don't think there is a right solution, but there's got to be some type of solution, because like it's getting bad at this point.
That it is, yeah. So it'll be fun. We'll continue to follow everything that goes on with the playoffs for the NBA, and then as we continue on and going into the off season. But we're gonna turn now to one of our most exciting subjects. In a week and a half, the NFL draft will be here, fellas. We'll once again be in that football cycle, talking about that. What are we most excited for this draft? I will say, for one, I'm so happy that it's going to be in Pittsburgh. Being a big Steelers fan, very excited to see that our city is going to be hosting it this year. Very excited for that.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm most excited. Well, actually, I don't know if you guys heard news out of Jacksonville is I think Travis Hunter is officially only going to be playing cornerback this year. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Oh,
I saw that the other
Interesting.
day. Now, I don't know because my Instagram is all sorts of random and for some reason doesn't always give me the most updated news. It might have been like an April Fool's thing that I'm only just now seeing. Like, I'm not joking. I just had one of those earlier today that was an April Fool's thing that I just saw today, which like Peter said is the 13th. Why am I seeing that now? But from what I've seen, they should be on they might only be playing they are switching them to just permanently at corner. But that is neither here nor there, as we still have quite a few months or 2 months or so
Here,
to the season.
I can put those thoughts to rest right now. Travis Hunter, Ian Rappaport, Travis Hunter to be a full time cornerback and part time wide receiver for the Jaguars.
Okay, that's interesting still. I guess he is still technically going both ways, whatever. But I'd say for me, I'm most excited for who is going well, not who's going first overall. I actually I'm changing what I'm saying, sorry. I'm more excited to the and this is selfish, this is biased, this is selfish. Ohio State has the opportunity to have 5 players go in the first 10 picks, which would
Oh
be the
my
first
gosh,
time
I'm so
ever in
ex- I'm
history.
so excited for that.
Do I think
I
it'll happen?
full bias.
Not necessarily, but there is serious talks that they could have 5 players, or is it 5 or 4, go in that top 10, which would be the first time it's ever happened from any school, and I think that'd be super sick if that does happen.
well, and that's all on defense, right?
I think
I'm
so.
assuming.
No, I think Carnell Tate. I think he's in
Was
there
he
as
in
well. So
there?
Oh
he's
yeah,
wide
Cornell
receiver.
Tate.
I don't know
Yeah.
if he was
If you
he in
look at
that
Mel
top 10
Kiper,
though?
he has according to Mel Kiper on his best predictions for the first round, he has Arvell Reese number 3, Caleb Downs at number 5, Sonny Styles at number 7, and then Carnell Tate at number 8. So,
Okay.
Okay,
well,
yeah,
obviously, a
that'd be
whole lot of
sick.
Ohio State players there, and
That'd be
in the
sick.
for a top 10. I'm gonna say personally, I mean, again, being a Steelers fan and Ohio State fan, I wouldn't mind if Carnell Tate dropped and the Steelers found a way to go pick him up. I would love that.
Here's a crazy prediction I have for you guys. for the draft. I
Let's
think
hear it.
the Steelers are going to trade up into the top 10 and get an offensive player.
Are you thinking
Oh,
our
okay,
quarterback? Because I think we stay with Will Howard. Call me crazy.
I mean, that's not just an Ohio State opinion.
No, he had the training
Will
camp
Howard.
team MVP last year. Okay, I think they give him a chance because how bad could it possibly be?
Right. I hope so. I really don't want them to have to go for another QB. I mean, if they do, as telling me like this organization does not seem like they know where to go.
Pittsburgh Steeler.
Who?
If you guys pick Ty Simpson, like the quarterback from Alabama, who was like,
I would be upset.
No.
I would be very upset if we do that.
I'm pretty sure like I would probably see some Yinzers like throw beer bottles at the stage, like in Pittsburgh. They would be furious if they picked Tyson. Which in my opinion is like, here's a problem. Like the Steelers are in such a weird spot. Like I don't even know like what direction you can go in at this point. Like the defense is in tatters. Like it's the most expensive defense, and like they were absolute buns last year. Shout out TJ Watt. He had a phenomenal year. But like the rest of the defense was not great. And I'm pretty sure you guys can attest to that. Aaron Rodgers ain't come back because he absolutely despises Mike McCarthy with a passion in his soul and needs to retire because, you know, you guys know my feeling about Aaron Rodgers. And really, like, the offense is like running back needs to be improved. Offensive line needs to be improved. You guys need to get another offensive weapon to coincide with DK Metcalf. It's like, what can you guys do at that point?
We have to go get a receiver, ultimately, in my opinion. We have to go get a receiver.
Even with us receiving Michael Pittman, right?
But I don't know if he's going to be the guy over there. Like, I don't know if he's going to be that true number 2, you know? Like, he could be very well. I hope he is, and I hope that means we don't have to waste a pick on a receiver. But I just don't know if he is going to be that guy. So I think we should be going after a receiver here, potentially.
If they shock us with a quarterback, you're going to see my full user side, folks.
Guys,
what if they trap and get Jeremiah Love?
I would love that. That guy can run the football. I'm open to that. That guy can. He has breakaway speed. As Gus Johnson would say, that is Gus Johnson, commentator. He has running from the cop speed. He has run away from the cop speed. Okay, that's.
I remember him saying that. I remember him saying that. I'm like, why would you say that on air? You cannot say that.
Anyways, but he's a strong back. He's so strong, and yeah, I would love to see Jeremiah Love join the Pittsburgh Steelers. He is the quintessential Steelers running back.
I would really enjoy that. I mean, especially with their history of drafting Jerome Bettis, who also happened to play at Notre Dame. I know that's probably purely coincidence, but that's besides the point. Mel Kiper, he has him going number 4, and the last time a running back that went top 4 was in 2018. Who was that player?
Saquon Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. Was it Saquon?
Yeah, Saquon. He went in 2018. He went number 2.
Draft.
No, it was the 2018 draft. He went number
18.
2.
That was Baker in that draft. That was that draft class. Saquon's right behind him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Sam Darnold. Shout out Sam Darnold, Super Bowl winner, 3rd overall pick. That went to the Jets. Jets.
Shout out Sam Darnold. True.
Jets fans just what they have like the 2nd overall pick, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Jets fans just. I'm praying for you all.
Just throw your season out the window right now. It's over. It's over.
Just want to point this out. I saw this as a funny thing on the internet too. Did you guys see the fact that someone tweeted out Rory Mcllroy has more Masters wins in one calendar year than the Jets have an interception?
Yeah.
Yes, that's tough.
I saw that. I'm just like, bro.
That's such a brutal stat, dude.
Like
They're-
someone deliberately had to find that stat and just state the obvious.
Yeah, that's
Jets
such a
fans, I'm
brutal stat,
sorry.
man.
I know we talked about our New York teams, but man, if there's no New
Oh.
York team that can't catch a break, it's the Jets.
Yeah,
The Mets are right behind them.
Yep, the Mets
Of
are
course.
right behind them. Yeah, that's brutal. That's just brutal. I mean, especially when they had Sauce Gardner on the team, like, and he couldn't even get an
Mhm.
interception for it. Like, come on. But yeah, that's just brutal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to cap off the night, we have a game. We are going to be doing NFL Wavelength. So, here's how it's going to work. I have in this very nice bucket hat
Ooh.
a list of numbers that I will pick out of. Essentially, we're going to go in the order of Aiden will guess first, Levi will guess second, I'll guess third, and then we'll just do another round like rapid fire real quick. Essentially, it's the fact that we're trying to have us guess the number that I'll pull out of the hat. Levi and I are trying to get Aiden to that number. So if I say a player and he doesn't get, Levi says a player we doesn't get, we'll keep on going forward but we'll get about 4 players, and then we'll just like keep on trying to have like Aiden get the hint. It's going to be current NFL players. Got it?
Okay.
Got it.
Actually,
got
I'll make it interesting. All-time NFL players. I'll make it interesting.
Okay. All right. Should
time.
I like? Should
All right,
I
so
hide my
Aiden.
face?
Yes. Hide your face or turn around your chair so you don't see the computer.
I am not looking. I'm a man of my word.
All right. Levi.
Okay. Now,
All right. Audio listeners, you don't know the number, so just play along.
Can I look?
All right.
remind.
Aiden, we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
So
and now remind me again there.
Again, if it's like 10 is great, 1 is like your Kwame Brown, like Stephen A. Smith views Kwame Brown. Like it's
Okay.
that bad. All right. So
Okay.
Aiden,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
my first hint to you
Okay.
is how do I want to do this? Because there's a lot I can go with this one.
I mean, I had an idea of
Wait.
what I was
Okay.
thinking. I had an idea what I was thinking.
Levi, you go first. You go first. And then I'll give mine. And then we'll have Aiden guess.
Okay. Johnny Manziel on the Browns.
That's a good one. I like that. Ooh, how do I want to go with this? I can go a lot of different directions. Hold up.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna say Jamarcus Russell.
Okay. So Jamarcus Russell is literally the biggest, like the NFL bust of NFL bust. When you think of that, which like pushes me towards 1, right? But Levi with Johnny Manziel, like Manziel, yeah, he had his problems, but he's still a good player. Like he was still a solid quarterback, which that would make me think like a 3, right? So I'm thinking if you guys are working together in that case, it's got to be like, or maybe like Johnny Manziel would be like a 4, maybe, right? So I think it's like a 2 or a 3, and I'm leaning like a 3.
I want you to keep this in mind.
We'll go to the next round.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's go to next players. I am going to say, how do I want to do this? Ben Roethlisberger on the wild card game versus the Browns.
Okay, that was
when they got
bad,
blown out.
It's a good one.
That is a good one. I can be as specific as I can with this.
Okay. Falcons blowing the lead in the Super Bowl.
Go with the player.
Yeah,
okay. Matt Ryan blowing the lead in the Super Bowl.
Dude, that's like another like a 5 and a 1, right? Or like I guess like a 2 and a 1. It's a low number. I know that for sure, right? Jamarcus Russell's a 1. If I'm gonna like take full, I got a full box here. Right? I got Jamarcus Russell, I got Johnny Manziel, I got Big Ben blowing that lead, and I got Matt Ryan. Like That's the low of the low. 28-3, blown lead. It doesn't get much worse than that. But losing the wild card game to the Browns, yeah, that sucks. Like, it sucks that that's how you retire, but it's
They
also
lost in
not.
embarrassing fashion.
Yes. But that's like a 3, right? So if I'm going based off that, it leads me to, in this case now, 2. So I'm going with 2.
Wrong. Next round. Okay, Levi.
Oh gosh.
Lock in. Because you and I both know the
yes.
number. I need to go with.
We need a good one. Go ahead, Peter.
Trying to have Aiden get on my same wavelength here. I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa last year.
That just doesn't help. Just doesn't help at all, actually, to be honest.
I'm gonna have to go with Jameis Winston and his famous interceptions. Period.
That's a great one.
Like, are we talking like the 30-30 season interceptions, or like just interceptions period, where he's,
Oh,
Interceptions
Any
period.
Okay.
oh yeah.
Dude, there's no way this is a 1, right? Like, there's no shot you pulled a 1 on the first number, right? But this can't be a 4. Tua literally is the definition of CTE. Like, I don't think, like, concussion protocol was made for Tua Tagovailoa. Like, that's not even a joke. Like, so it has to be a 1. It can't be a 4. A 4 is like not that.
Oh no.
And
Oh,
Jamarcus
no.
Russell was thrown out there. It has to be a 1. Is it 1? It has to be 1.
It's 1. It's 1.
Dude.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Gonna have
my
CTE
God.
after this.
Oh man. All right.
That's
Levi,
insane. I can't believe you got started with a 1. That's crazy.
quite
You
the
pulled a
pull.
1.
All right, Levi.
Oh, I love it.
Cover your eyes.
All right.
Cover your eyes.
Okay.
All right, Levi.
Oh boy.
Aiden,
I
ready?
can only imagine
Yeah,
where
I'm
it's
ready.
gonna go.
Got it.
Ooh.
This is gonna be a little hard. This is gonna be.
I imagine so.
All right, Aiden. I mean, Levi, we're ready.
Okay.
Aiden, you go first.
Dude, this is gonna be. This could be the. Ooh. I about just accidentally said the number out loud. That would have been crazy. Okay. Let's start here. Let's go. Tom Brady Super Bowl, but with the deflate gate. No. Scratch that. Tom Brady Super Bowl, but with the tuck rule and all that drama involved.
That's not a bad one. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
That's
that's
it. Just
pretty.
good. Oh gosh. Oh, I mean, these don't sound like they're completely awful, but they're also not great. I mean, I'm thinking, I don't know. This is tough. I mean, well, and I think of, I don't know. I'm kind of, I want to get, I think I have an idea of where we might be at. I think in medium range. So I'm gonna guess. I think this is a 7.
Not a 7.
Incorrect. We'll go to the next round.
No.
Peter, you want to start us on this one?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with trying to get in that range is the problem because I don't want to give it away. I'm gonna go with Cam Scattaboo during the first few weeks of the season.
Okay. Peter, you're gonna love this. I think this is great. I think this is the perfect for this number. I think this is like the perfect thing. You ready? Greg Jennings with a broken leg putting the team on his back and about to
Yes.
get hit by Darren Sharper, the hardest hitting safety in the league.
Okay.
Yep, if you know, you know. That's a great one.
So, okay. Now I'm just like completely lost. I think this now clearly it seems like this must be like some of the best of the best moments here for some of these players. Cam Scattaboo in his first few weeks of the season, this dude looked incredible. And just that what you're talking about there, Aiden, like this kind of seems like some miraculous stuff that pretty incredible. So I'm gonna have to say an 8.
Yes.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah,
Great
8.
job.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah, good.
All right.
Good poll.
All right. I'm gonna have to do this really trickily.
Just don't look at the number.
Yeah. We'll make
Just
sure that we
pull it out.
remember.
Show the camera, and just
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to make
Yeah.
sure that this hat doesn't fall in my lap. Is the problem.
maybe if you can't do it, Aiden, I'll just do a random number and just leave it at that.
Do we need to flip it?
No, we know what you got.
Yeah.
I think
we got
actually,
it. Yeah.
actually, yeah.
No.
Well, hang on, flip it real quick.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
We're good.
Okay.
Yep. We're good.
Yep, we're good. You go ahead. Aiden, why don't you start us off with this number?
Oh,
I feel like you have a good take on this.
You know, I'd have a really good NBA comparison for this one. That's the hard part, but obviously we're not doing NBA. Let's see. This is tough. This is a pretty tough one actually. Let's go with Calvin Johnson, but like heavy on the fact he played for the Lions.
Oh God. Okay.
Oh man. I
don't know. That might throw you off. I'm not sure. We'll see.
That's tough. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna say the 2016 Steelers, and it was their I think it was 2016. It would have been their win against the Chiefs in the playoffs. They only won by field goals. They didn't have any touchdowns in that game.
Oh God. Okay. I'm thinking this is now like. But okay, so Aiden's saying Calvin Johnson was heavy on the fact that he was on the Lions, and those Lions were bad, like booty cheeks bad. And then if Levi's talking about gameplay wise, this has got to be like 3.
Not a 3.
Nope.
Okay.
Okay.
No, that's good. All right. No, but we're figuring out. All right. Okay. Let's go with. Ooh, what's actually. Okay. Let's go with. Who was it? Oh, who was the player? Oh no. Can I remember who the player was? You know what?
I think
Don't even actually. I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Michael Thomas with his toe injury.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with something very recent. Tyler Loops missed to miss the playoffs.
Good God. So, okay. So Aiden said Calvin Johnson
No. Oh
on
yeah,
the
okay, yeah.
Lions. Heavy on the Lions,
Heavy on the
playing
line.
wise. And then, okay. Tyler missing the field goal. And then what do you say, Aiden?
Michael Thomas with his toe injury.
I'm going to say it's a 2.
Okay, no, not a 2.
Nope.
Okay, let's see. Little tricky on this number here. Little tricky.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I got one.
Okay.
OJ Simpson.
What? What? Now I'm lost. Now, are you talking about like he murdered people, or are you talking about his playing career?
He might be cooking with that, unironically.
No, I don't know what he's specifying.
I'm not even gonna specify. I'm not even gonna specify. Take it as you think. Take it as you will.
I'm so lost.
Okay. I'm gonna stay on that same train. I'm gonna go Aaron Hernandez if he didn't kill someone.
If he didn't kill someone, I'm lost. Time out. Where have we gone completely? Like, I'm being told, hey, these Lions are absolute dog cheeks. So, like, hey, if Aaron Hernandez didn't kill that guy and went to jail, he might be pretty good. And then I have OJ Simpson, who's a Hall of Famer type player. Like, what are we doing?
Listen,
I'm lost.
I actually think Levi was cooking with that, unironically.
With the OJ Simpson?
Yes.
Like,
is it a 1?
No, it's not a 1.
No.
You want us to tell you?
What?
I think, like,
but what, we've done like 3 rounds. We give it away here.
Yeah, I think we have to, right? Or did we go one more round?
No, one more.
Okay.
One more round. Oh gosh.
Let's go. Okay. Okay. Antonio Brown, but on the Buccaneers.
What the? I went from like, what is okay?
Okay. Antonio Brown, but on the Raiders.
Dude, I mean, that's it's true. It's true.
I am so lost.
I just want to point out we've gone 3, 2, and 1.
Yeah, because like you freaking went with murderers last round. Like, what do you expect me to do? Like, do you want me to give them like a freaking 7 for being great citizens? Like, what are we talking about? like citizen of the year, OJ Simpson. It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, dude. Of course.
All right, so
oh man,
I'm gonna completely throw out Aaron Hernandez and OJ Simpson out of my mind because I'm
telling you, the Aaron Hernandez pool is actually fire, though. I'm so serious.
Okay, I'm gonna go with like Calvin Johnson was pretty good. Antonio Brown won a Super Bowl. And again, like you know, like Levi is a Steelers fan, so like him missing the field goal versus the Steelers would have been good for him because the Steelers made the postseason, even though that they lost in the wild card. Aiden, what was your first hint?
My first one was Calvin Johnson on the Lions, and then my second one was Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, but with his toe injury.
Seven?
No, unfortunately, it's not a 7. I think
this is a 4.
Oh.
I'm telling you, listen, hear me out, listen. Right? The OJ Simpson hint was good because his playing career was so good, right? But then the the outside stuff
All the
brought
stuff
that down,
happens.
right? So it goes down
Well,
to like
he
you know
murdered
like a
2 people.
4.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Kind of
Right, but it goes down to like a 4 because he did have the 2,000-yard rushing season, right? So it's like, okay, it drops it down, you know.
This is the worst example, but we're kind of finding a balance here.
You can just text each other and basically like, hey, let's just screw around with them and just like decide to go with the worst things possible.
No, listen. And then listen, Aaron Hernandez, right? He killed a guy.
If he didn't kill him.
Yeah. But if he doesn't kill the guy, then
he definitely killed people in college.
Right. But if he didn't kill a guy, right? Then he's just a locker room nuisance, but he's one of the best tight ends, right? So it's like a 4 because, you know, he's just a locker room weirdo.
Oh my gosh.
I think it works.
All right. We're going back. All right.
Next.
Final round. We're gonna do one
round. We're gonna do one round. One round. Final round.
Yeah. Final round. We'll go through each one time. We're gonna do two questions per thing. Okay.
Okay.
Levi.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. All right. Here's my first guess. Aaron Rodgers on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. The Bears drafting Caleb Williams.
6. It's like the easiest 6 of all time.
Nope.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Never mind. Perhaps that Caleb Williams threw me off a little bit, perchance.
I'm gonna say. Well, I'm just gonna think. I would say Jalen Hurts without the tush push.
That's like a 6. He's like, it could be lower. Could be back-to-back 4s, could it?
Okay. Kind of going what Peter just talked about, but Russell Wilson on the Steelers.
That's bad. That's really bad. But like Aaron Rodgers on the Steelers wasn't that bad. Like it wasn't great, but it wasn't that bad. Wait, what was your second hint again, Peter?
I said Jalen Hurts without the tush push.
Is this okay? Is this another 4? Did we get back-to-back 4s?
No.
Is it a 5?
You want to know the answer? Yeah, it was a 5.
5, yeah.
I was leaning 5.
You know, I appreciated your thought process, Aiden, with the first one, because I mean I was kind of going under with Caleb Williams, like everybody for the start with the Bears organization are like Caleb Williams, and I know Peter wasn't the most upfront with having that guy be drafted, but now obviously this guy's got success and he obviously proved that this past year. Yeah. So I was like, this is kind of
Levi, close your eyes. Levi, close your eyes. Move, right?
Okay.
Peter.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I needed to get this one off my chest. All right, Levi, you ready?
Ready.
Okay. Peter, you're gonna love me for this, okay? Are you prepared for the greatest hint of all time?
I think I know where you're gonna go with this.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Like, are you prepared?
Yes. Yep.
I feel like I know where this is going.
You are okay. Devin Hester opening kick touchdown with the camera flashes and the whole.
Oh man.
Great pick. I got one even better for you.
Oh man.
I don't know how you can top that, but I'm very curious.
The Pittsburgh Steelers when they win a playoff game.
Okay.
Oh
fair enough.
My
All
God. Right. Now, okay. See, well, first off, I just have to say the Devin Hester thing. This makes it obvious exactly what this is. But secondly, shame on you, Peter, for saying the Steelers to win a playoff game because you already know what number I have to pick after that. This is a 10.
Yep.
I can't believe you. I can't believe you. Shame on you, Peter. Shame on you
No.
for making me choose a 10 for the Steelers.
Steelers gonna go to Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, you're right. Steelers got Super Bowl.
All right. I'm closing my eyes. Let me know if I need to flip it, okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Do I need to flip it or anything?
Nope. All good.
Nope.
Okay. Roll it.
Yeah.
The Bears pulling off a crazy playoff win against who was it? It was literally like the last second. I already forgot which
or
was it the Packers?
Yeah,
They're like
Packers.
little time remaining, and they goes in and was able to tie it up. I believe it must have been that.
Oh no, you're talking about the Rams game where they tied up and went in overtime.
That's the one. Yes, that's the one I'm referring to. Caleb Williams with that play.
Okay.
That's not a bad pick.
I thought you were gonna go with the Packers one. I'm like, I definitely would have had a different number than what I'm now thinking.
Yeah. Let's see. This is tough. This is harder than I would have thought it would have been, to be honest. Let's go with. Yeah, I'm seeing it. The Packers, right? Larry Fitz running that was like 50-yard touchdown against the Packers in overtime. In I don't know, was it in a conference championship?
Like 2011, like no, it was like 2014, I think.
Something like that. Or I don't know, whatever it was when Larry Fitz went, and just destroyed their hearts essentially. But we're looking at let me add, we're looking at that from the Larry Fitz angle. Let me specify.
Correct. Okay. So Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet to tie it up in the fourth quarter. And then Larry Fitz breaking the Packers' hearts and bringing joy to my heart. I'm going to go with a 9.
Not it.
Nope.
Rats. Okay.
Let's see. Sorry, Bryce, if you're watching this, by the way.
Not sorry, Bryce. I actually am joyful when the Packers lose.
Let's see. What would be a good... Okay. Let's go with the guy who lost the sack record after Brett Favre took the dive. Or supposedly took a dive. But like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the guy's name is the problem.
Are you talking about Michael Strahan or like Bruce Smith?
No, the guy who he had the record and then Michael Strahan or whatever broke it because Brett Favre like took a dive, right? Am I thinking right on that?
No, you're thinking right. I think it's Bruce Smith.
Well, that guy.
That's who it is. Okay. It's like you're going with pettiness. Okay, I have to think about that.
Hang on, it might be all time here. Let me confirm my thing.
No, it was single season. It was single season. Levi, give your hint while you're doing research.
I'm gonna say Baker Mayfield on the Buccaneers.
Okay, well, we'll go with the 9. And I do love Baker on the Bucks. Levi knows that. Aiden's going with like a super petty guy route, but he went with Larry Fitz scoring that touchdown versus the Packers, which he knows I don't like the Packers. And then Levi went with Caleb Williams to Cole Kmet to go into overtime, like one of the best throws I've seen in my life. Okay. 7?
No. No.
Is it 8?
Yeah.
It's an 8. Yeah.
Oh, I suck at this game. I'm
No, I
deflated.
mean,
it's fun.
to be fair, if I
This
could
is
have gotten
fun.
my thing correct, because the guy, I forget the whole story or whatever. The guy like had a record for the sacks or whatever, and then Dan Marino took a dive. Like the whole thing is that he like went down on purpose, and they gave the sack to whoever it was to break the
Strahan.
record. Yeah,
Yeah, it was
and
Strahan to Favre.
yeah. Was it
And
Favre?
I don't
Oh,
know who
the
it
guy
is
was.
Favre. You're right. It is Favre. Oh, I'm an idiot. Not Dan Marino. Oh my gosh. That would have helped if I gave you the right thing.
No, I knew who you were talking about because I knew it was Strahan to Favre.
Yeah.
I just didn't know who
You
the
know-
previous record holder was.
It was Mark
And,
Gastineau.
for my Bears
Oh.
hint, I mean, they tie it up against the Rams, but then of course they lost that game to get knocked out of the playoffs. So it was an incredible play, but for the big picture, just wasn't obviously the outcome you wanted. But an incredible
Right.
play nonetheless.
Yeah. But anyway,
That's pretty fun though.
I thought that
I'm glad
my
I'm glad we
hint
tried that.
wasn't terrible, but my hint.
No, I got thrown off. I think the biggest problem was like it wasn't Levi's hint. I was just thinking like with Baker Mayfield on the Bucks, it's just been like so like up down. With Baker.
Yeah.
Like, he's been like good. In my mind, like, okay, he's been good, but like he's been like so like up and down with like his seasons. Like he gets to the playoffs, but it's like he doesn't really like get to that point where he's like in that echelon.
They were on the edge there when they got in the playoffs. They just kind of snuck in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was a fun
Anyway.
game, boys. That was fun.
Yeah, good.
that was fun.
If you guys in the comments, if you want to see more little games like that, leave something below and let us know something else you'd love to see from that. But with that, boys, we do have. I know we're almost 2.5 hours in here, but we can't end this episode without ranking a couch. So if you check your Discord, guys, we got a couch here.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only appropriate to do this.
Oh no! Oh no!
You know
I
what?
think with our trend tonight,
You know
I
what?
think we have to do this.
You know what? Look, this looks like it would be a comfortable couch because it looks like it has a good heart.
No,
I think that's what everybody says.
a lie.
I think everybody says they have a good heart, but in reality, they just know that it's this couch is going to disappoint them.
When I see this couch, I just see depression incarnate. just sadness. It looks like this couch and whoever sits on it just needs a hug, and just like someone tell them it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Like take him out to coffee, buy him some dinner, make them feel good about themselves. Just
I think
just sadness.
I think what you need to do is you sit on this couch. You need to completely forget about you sitting on that couch and just focus on the Netflix you're watching in front of you. Just ignore all the depression that this couch gives you, and just focus on whatever you're doing. I don't know.
That is such a good comparison.
That's so tough.
Oh no!
That's so
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, New York fans. I had to do it.
For our audio listeners, it's a New York Jets couch that we're talking about. It's literally like so clearly just like made for Jets fans, and it's just Jets fans. We love you, we do, but we understand it's rough out there being a Jets fan right now.
Yeah.
I'll give this. I'll be generous to New York. I'm going to give them a 7 for their couch.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm gonna give it a 5.1 for potentially the one interception that you'll get next season.
Oh, yeesh.
Just the
Fair
one.
enough.
Went there.
Hey, it's
Yikes.
better than 0. It's better than 0. It's improvement. It's going up.
It is
That
an improvement.
is
They can only go up
improvement.
from here, right?
The goal next season isn't wins. It's just get one interception. One.
That's brutal. That's a little
I
blow.
think they can pull it
That
off.
might be a low.
I
That
think they
might
can
be a
pull it
low
off.
blow there. Not gonna lie.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right,
Well, guys,
everyone, just a
to kind of close
reminder.
things off. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
just a reminder for everyone. Be sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Instagram. Follow us on all our socials. That would help boost the channel.
Yeah, follow us on Spotify
Absolutely.
too. I don't know if that's a thing on Spotify or like add us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music. I mean, iHeartRadio. We're all over. So wherever you find your enjoyment, check us out wherever you want. So with that, boys, though, as we kind of close this episode today, what are we watching out there?
Yeah, I was watching Columbus Blues. Well, I wasn't watching them specifically this evening. It's actually why I was like kind of looking over a lot at my phone during our episode, is because I was watching the Columbus Blue Jackets get eliminated from the playoffs. And
Salute.
They tried.
F's
so
in the
my
chat.
heart is broken. I will be watching the Reds break my heart also, as they probably find a way to not make the playoffs this year. So hopefully I'm wrong.
It could be worse. It could be worse. And you could be a Detroit Red Wings fan.
That is true. That's a tough way to go out.
Levi, I need to explain this to Levi because, again, for those of you that don't know, Levi is not super big into hockey. Levi, the Detroit Red Wings, proper pronunciation. They were tied for first in the Eastern Conference in mid-January.
Yeah.
And got eliminated from the postseason. I think they went 9, 14, and 4 in their last
really bad.
27 games, and they got eliminated from the postseason. I think like Levi or Aiden, they give up 3 goals in 9 minutes in the third period, and they got booed off home ice in their last home game of the year. And mind you, it was the 100th anniversary year for the Detroit Red Wings, and it was their last game that they do every year on home ice is called Fan Appreciation Day.
Brutal.
Yikes. That is brutal. Well, hey, you know what? And cut me some slack. I did one thing I did watch over the weekend was I went to an Orlando Solar Bears game here in Orlando, AA team, and it was a lot of fun. And their goals came in the third period, and it was electric. Shout out to a commenter on TikTok. He said like he was even at those games, and he tells the truth that Orlando really shows up for these games, and for their last home game of the season, this crowd was electric, and it was a lot of fun to watch that. So I do love me my hockey whenever I get the chance to go see them. So
on
very
actually
incredible.
very similar note, shout out to Notre Dame baseball. I went to the Notre Dame baseball game yesterday, today being Monday the 13th, so Sunday. That wasn't much of a game. They lost 20-5 to Virginia. That was but
brutal.
Fun game.
Brutal.
A lot of runs. But to be fair, Virginia is the number 13 ranked team in the country, so they are really good. Notre Dame is unranked, but still, shout out Notre Dame. Yeah, absolute.
Salute.
Yeah, be sure to check out some of our other form content as well. Yeah, again, we just made a trip to the Smokies, had an incredible time there, and had a little fun with our bonus episode we made there. Obviously, we're also trying to form a little bit of live content, get out to the sports games whenever we have the chance. I will be attending the Reds. They're going to be facing off here against the Rays next week. So be on the lookout for a video from that and just my experience there. But overall, again, we thank you guys so much for watching. I know this is a little bit of a longer episode, but we thank you guys for sticking through and through with us as we continue along here on our incredible journey with this podcast. Thank you guys so much for watching, and go out, enjoy your sports out there. Go enjoy some MLB. Go enjoy the NBA playoffs as those get started. Rest in peace to New York teams, and hopefully they'll do some good here in the coming days. So with that, we will see you all later. Hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time on From the Couch.
JETS, 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 Jets.